find my bandana, please?
There's lots of hair on it.
Bandana. The bandana's going to have hair on it, if anything.
You put that there.
I did know.
You did this.
All right.
Oh.
Now look at that and look at this. All right.
Will you look at it?
Oh, sit up. Okay. We got this. We got this. I need this.
We got this. We got that.
Okay, I'm ready now. Sorry about that. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast. Episode 895. The Regidrago Podcast. Regidrago.
It's like Ivan Drago and Reggie had a
Exactly.
evolution.
Or Regidrago, but Mom Brain, will you tell us about Regidrago, please?
I will. An academic theory proposes that Regidrago's arms were once the head of an ancient dragon Pokemon. The theory remains unproven.
Whoa.
They're almost 7 feet tall. They're 440 pounds. The gender's unknown, and the category is, of course, Dragon Orb. Abilities include Dragon's Maw, powers up dragon type moves, and that is the end of the Pokemon section.
Thank you, Mom Brain. I appreciate it. Lots of things to talk about at the beginning of the podcast today. Some site related. I don't know if any are game related, but whatever. But first, hi, Mom Brain.
Hi.
How are you? Okay. Hi, Deux. How are you?
Uku.
And that's it for well, of course, that's not it. I mean, Josh Robot is here, as always, never misses the show. The man's a legend.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Josh. How you doing?
A big hello to my fans.
I'm one of your biggest fans.
Smash that subscribe button.
It's always an honor to have you here. And it's same with you, George. George, how you doing?
Buongiorno, molto bene.
George, we had Vortman's is a brand of cookies. We had key lime Vortman's wafer cookies, and they were sublime.
Ooh.
George,
I like a good Vortman.
if you haven't tried Vortman's cookies, George, I suggest you do that. Well, the key lime ones, obviously, but they're absolutely fantastic. 0 sugar, by the way. So surprisingly good. I would eat it as a regular cookie. Very, very good. I mean, like, I'm not saying it's good for a diet cookie. It's just good for a cookie. It was good. All right. A little bit of house cleaning. First things first, I'm aware that there's an issue on the site with an ad that is coming up like pretend malware. The ad team has been alerted. They will take care of it. I am sorry about that. I promise you it is fake. It is not real. You are safe. But good news is 99% of you use ad blocker, so it doesn't matter. But for those who are putting up with it, my apologies. I am also putting up with it.
But it's a real ad? It's supposed to look like that?
Or it is an ad, technically, yes. Like an ad company has come in to be weaselly and bid. Basically, how ad sites work is they have companies that come in that put in bids for placement on sites, but they're not like content bids. They're just like, we would like to run our ads on this site, and then they negotiate and they go, okay. And then this company comes in and they're like, our ad is a fake malware ad, so it's not supposed to be there. So they will remove it. And hopefully by, I would love to say this weekend, but I doubt it. I'd say hopefully by Monday morning it'll be gone. But trust me, you're safe. I promise. Don't click on the ad. Don't use any of the links there or anything, but you're fine. Let me say if there was other house cleaning, but I forgot it. So I'll go over to chat and say hello. Hello to 10th Division and the 8-Bit Lego and Highly and Tom. Look at this.
Did you mean literal house cleaning since you cleaned the house?
I didn't, but I did clean house.
I think it's housekeeping.
Housekeeping?
Right? Like,
is it?
Yeah, it's like like, oh, the bathroom is here. Like before you give a presentation, like, oh, if you need to leave, go ahead.
Okay, a little bit of housekeeping.
Water is at the back of the room.
Okay, I see, yeah.
Hi, Anastasia Beaverhausen and Nintendo. Look at all these beautiful animals and sneaker hacks. and Gecko Kitsune, and Red Souza, and Burn and Cheese, I think I saw it. Yep, and William George, and Malakalo, and Roth, and Spaniel, and Vachi, and Ice Dilbert. All the best people in the world are here. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We appreciate it. Look, hi, Tater Tot. Good to see you. Look at those two precious cats from Gecko Kitsune. How cute are they?
They're all precious.
All right. We said our hellos. I'll try and catch you if you're not here yet as the show goes on. But as I said, I have some things I would like to talk about just because that's how the show starts. So that's what we're going to do. And again, most of it is not game related, but going to ease into things. Number one, Mom Brain and I had a very rough week. Mom Brain, you want to talk about it?
Well, I mean, it wasn't really rough. I don't want anybody to be worried. We got our updated COVID vaccines, which they are called, not boosters, for the record. I was reading up on that because we're now treating it sort of like we treat the flu shot. So it's like it's not boosting the old vaccine. It's like whatever variant is, flying around out there is the one we're being vaccinated against. So we both got our updated COVID vaccines on Wednesday.
Yes, Wednesday.
We went to CVS, and Ramit can tell everybody about like the experience at CVS because it was kind of funny. And then Thursday morning.
Well, hold on. Everybody we talked to about getting this thing, they were like, I got it and I felt great. My arm hurt, but that was about it. No reaction. And then when we're at CVS, is it a nurse?
Yeah, she was a nurse.
The Mom Brain is like, if I'm not feeling good, can I take Tylenol? And she's like, yeah, you can take Tylenol, but you're going to be fine. Nobody's getting any reactions to this thing. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, so we also, you can tell everybody about what we did afterwards too, because it was exciting. So Thursday morning, I woke up
hardship
for work at 5:30, and Raw Meat was like, I'm not long for this world. I am passing away before your very eyes.
Usually when I got the boosters or the original shot, it was like 12 hours after I got it that I was starting to feel bad. And it was roughly 11 hours after I got the shot. It's 5 a.m. when I'm getting ready to like wind down and go to bed. And I was like, oh no, my eyeballs are hot. Like I know it's coming. And then like I laid down on the couch and I was like, I'm dying. This is it. It's happening. So I was like, so Mom Brain woke up, saw me dead on the couch. Whatever. Go ahead.
So then, and I felt okay.
Yeah, you woke up and I was like, how you feeling? And you're like, I'm fine. I'm all right.
Every time I've gotten a COVID shot, I have had a hardship. Like I've been sick every time. I mean, nothing outside of what normal side effects you get from them. And then as the day went on Thursday, I like got slow, like exponentially slower and felt exponentially worse. By the time I got home, I felt like I had a migraine. Like I couldn't have any of the lights on. I was like, Rami, you can't turn the lights on. You can't have your phone on. Like I tried reading for a while and then I just gave up and went to bed at 7:30 and woke up the next morning at like 6 a.m. and was like still tired.
Oh no.
Went to work, put in a day. I felt better. I mean, I had a fever, the whole shebang. And then like by like 9:00 last night, I needed to go to bed again. Oh, and I took a nap when I got home from work, like a 3-hour nap when I got home from work.
You went right to bed.
Yeah, like I couldn't even. I was like, I'm going up those stairs one time, and it is right now. Like that's it.
Did you text me from work the first day, and you were like, "I don't feel good"?
I texted you. I feel like dog shovel.
Yeah,
I'm coming home.
Yeah,
like just stay out of my way.
So we both had the exact same reaction, just probably 6 hours delayed of each other.
Well,
we went through the exact same process, both of us, and it's funny because on the way home from getting the shot, I was like, which one of us is going to be the bad luck one that obviously has a bad reaction? I was like, I think it's going to be me. And she's like, no, it's going to be me. And I was like, I changed my answer. It is going to be you. But surprise, it was both of us.
Well, you feel 100% today. And
Yes.
I don't know if I'm going to make it through the podcast without taking a nap. Like, I'm not joking. I'm completely.
That's you normal, though.
I'm exhausted. Like, exhausted. And maybe I should have taken the day off of work. And that would have been better.
I would have liked to have taken the day off of work too. When we so we got it, we felt horrible. I mean, like, chills, body aches, felt bad to move. My arm felt like it was gonna fall off.
mean,
It
it's
was
by
my
no
worst
means-
reaction by far.
By no means. I mean, I would trade it any day. I don't want COVID. I've been very fortunate.
Oh yeah, that's
that,
not what this is about. It was
I've not
about
had
just,
COVID, and I know that, like, the long COVID business. Like, I don't want anybody to think that I'm like, should have never even gotten it. I went around.
No one's saying that. We got this. If we're getting like the 5th COVID shot, I think they know we're about getting the shot. But like, I felt like death, and I worked, and like, as the day went on, I started to feel somewhat better, and I still felt like garbage, but less garbage. And I was like, well, I'm not missing my walk, so I went out for my walk and all that, and whatever. And then the night went on, and I was feeling better and better. And again, I still felt bad, but more manageable bad. Then it was like 11 o'clock that night, and I started playing Fortnite with my family. And then by midnight, I was like, am I starting to feel bad again? Like, is this happening again? And by 1, I was like, I feel sick again. I was like, what the hell's happening? So I went to bed, woke up the next day. Thankfully, then I still felt bad, but better. And I was like, okay, this has to be it. Like, I have to be getting out of it. And I was. So I saw Nintendo say, I believe it was Nintendo say, yeah, he said the COVID vaccine did me in for 36 hours, full body chills and sweats the night after I got it. I mean, that was us, 36 hours for me. Yeah, without a doubt. So congrats to everybody who got this shot and felt nothing, because we got rocked by it.
So then you like
High radical defect.
one of our family members was like, I got my updated vaccine and it was fine. I had no trouble whatsoever. And I was like, I need you, Rami, to reach out to her and tell her she's effing bogus, because I was all prepared for this to be a breeze.
It was young and old alike too. Like, all the old people were like, mine was great. The young people that got it were like, mine's great, no problems. And I was like, hopefully it's the same for us. It was not the same.
But did she get Pfizer? Because we got Moderna.
Yes, she got Pfizer, but other people got Moderna too.
Yeah.
My sister is getting her Moderna, whatever you said we're supposed to call it, today, but she's doubling down and getting her flu shot as well.
I did that last year. I got both at the same time.
She's gonna die for real.
No.
Well, with how bad this one was, if she gets it like that plus a flu, then she's gonna be knocked on her ass.
I guess I got them both last year and I was tired.
Tendivision says my body is a fortress.
My body is ready.
We've only done Moderna. I want to keep the Moderna streak going. Why? No real reason. Like, I know it doesn't mean anything, but I figured I've done Moderna all this way, so I'll do Moderna this time, and that's what we did. But we did our duty. We're boosted. Hi, Dre. Good to see you. And I am, I'd say, 100%, and Mom Brain is 70-something percent.
And sliding slowly backwards.
You're just tired.
As time's
You are
going
tired all the time. So
it's crazy how it affects some people so drastically and others not at all.
Some of the boosters, there was one booster where I felt pretty much perfectly fine. I was like, I got it, felt a little iffy for maybe an hour or two, and then I was good, like no issues. But other ones, I got rocked. So there you go. Get your shot if you can, and hang in there if you're getting it, because we will tell you, don't listen to people say you're going to be fine, because you might not be fine. So that's why I cleaned the house, Stu. I said I was going to tell you.
Thank you.
Because we were living in squalor. Because like
we were just so done.
2 days before, Mom Brain was like, can you empty the dishwasher? I was like, yeah, no problem. And then like I'm like dying on the couch. I was like, I'll do the dishwasher later. And then, later that day I ended up feeling bad again. And I was like, so both of us just died, and it was garbage around us everywhere. So it's like, I'll get to the dishwasher later. And then last night I was like, I feel perfectly fine now. So I went through the whole house and cleaned up everything. So that's why the house is clean.
And Raw Meat had a very lovely private booth vaccination, and my appointment was directly after his. And for whatever reason, the booth was like closed. She wasn't using it anymore, so I
fouled it.
So I had to walk up to the pharmacy counter, like where people were picking up their prescriptions, and like talk to the nurse. And she was like, okay, your name, your birthday, Moderna, left arm. And I was like, sure. She goes, you want it here? And I was like, all right. And I rolled up my sleeve, and she just like leaned over the counter and poked me. Like that was it.
That's what she meant. You want it here, like here and now.
Which is the same way I get my flu shot at school. We all just line up, and Dr. Frank just does it.
Like she said, this was my first at CVS. I'd gotten them all of them at Walmart, but I can't see that Walmart's doing them. So we went to CVS. Like Mom Brain said, there was a little on the floor of the on the regular floor they had like
it was like a changing room almost.
Like a changing room, 2 booths that you go in with a door closed and they give you a shot. It was great. Like it was in and out, no problem, done. Then Mom Brain was the appointment right after me. I'm wandering around CVS looking at all the snacks. I'm like, this is great. And I found something. I was like, Mom Brain, you got to look at this. And I go to show Mom Brain it. And as I get to the counter, I realize the nurse is leaning over and giving her the shot in the arm. And I'm like, oh, and I like diverted course because I don't want to be like, look at these cookies that she's getting a shot in the arm.
You almost feel like you walked in on someone changing,
So then I hear her say like, thank you very much and leave. And I walked over to Mom Brain and I was like, what the hell was that? She leaned over the counter and gave it to me. She's like, yeah, she asked if I wanted it here. And I said, yeah. It's like, well, all right. And
we did get some great stickers.
We both got stickers. I got a sticker saying I am brave, that's a turtle, and Mom Brain got one that's I am brave, a unicorn. So there you go.
Nice.
Get your shots. Did you get your shots? Moving on. Other things to talk about.
And we went out for ice cream and pizza afterwards.
I don't want to spend too much time on this because there is other stupid stuff I do want to talk about. Stupid good stuff. But yes.
That was a really great
story. You've heard of Char?
The fish?
No, like the
restaurant?
I'm gonna say, yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna say the fancy. It's fancier, right?
Char, yeah.
So Char has a spinoff called Char Burger
Broiled?
and Creamery. And Mom Brain was like, we heard it had she had heard it had ice cream. She tried to look online. She couldn't find anything but milkshakes.
That it was called Burger and Creamery.
You'd think.
I was like,
I like a tall glass of milk in my burger.
So she looked online.
Creamery.
Hi, Still Irish. She looked online, couldn't find the ice cream list. I was like, we're right here. We'll just go anyway. Why not? Went in, got ice cream. She got a vanilla and chocolate twist cone. I got
classic.
What was it? Graham Explosion?
Graham Slam.
Graham
Slam. You have to go to this place, too. Either on your own or we're going to take you.
Yeah.
Some of the best ice cream I've ever had in my entire life.
I'm listening.
Unbelievable. The graham cracker flavor was fantastic. They had like little chocolate bits in there, but picture them like a nerd, but like 4 times the size of a nerd. So they were sizable.
So like chocolate chip sized chips of chocolate.
But when even bigger. But
I'm picturing that.
But when you bite into them, they were kind of like a pop rock. They didn't fizz or anything, but it was like kind of like that hollow, crunchy feeling, from like a pop rock,
like a malted crunch.
Kind of, but it was unbelievable. And seriously, top 5 ice cream, easy.
And the ice cream was flavored graham cracker.
It wasn't the ice cream was graham flavored.
It wasn't like there was just graham chunks on top.
There were no graham chunks.
Graham cracker flavored ice cream.
Graham cracker flavored ice cream with chocolate
good.
Explosive bits mixed in. Mind-bogglingly good. It was unbelievable. And I know you as an ice cream connoisseur, just as Mom Brain is.
Now,
you gotta go.
Marshmallow topping. We didn't look to see if they had
toppings, and they did have marshmallows. So you could put that on there. But I was like, he's like, do you want anything extra? I was like, no, just give me. I just want to try that thing. So that's what I tried. So worth it. So good.
Well, the ice cream we had at the mall was great. You didn't have any RMC, but I forget what that place was called, but that was excellent.
Was this better?
Was it Van Leeuwen?
Well, it's
Ben-
tough
yeah,
to
it
say
was.
Ben
because
Lewin's.
Well, I'm asking. Yeah, she had both. So which one was
Oh,
better?
well, it was different because I got soft serve at
yeah,
Char.
she's just having chocolate and vanilla at Char, so I
Yeah.
can't see.
But that's
that
her
being-
go-to. Like that's her. I think that's your way to like test out a place,
Yeah, a
right?
twist. I always do like a soft serve twist as my, and it was really great. It was, like shiny ice cream. Like it was like wet and shiny and
Nope, no one knows what you mean.
So it looked good. Like it looked.
yeah, and that's how you know it's good soft serve too, because it's not like dull. It was like a custardy kind of a.
Okay, I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, it was delicious.
Tater Tot says they call that a dump truck around them. They're talking about the graham cracker ice cream. And Radical Defect says if y'all are ever in my neck of the woods, North Florida, go to Lofty Pursuits, an ice cream shop. I've heard of that actually. I really haven't. I don't remember where. They're internationally known. There you go. They make homemade candy and stuff. Maybe I've seen them on social media, on TikTok or something. But yeah, ice cream was phenomenal. Also, very quickly, I'm sorry, guys. I love the podcast and talk about stupid crap. I went to Wegmans for the second time in my life. It was the first time that I really paid attention. Last time I went was when I was a teenager and I was racing the basket carts around, like, the electric ones. We went. It was amazing. It's the coolest supermarket I've ever seen in my life. They had a whole section that is designed like an outdoor market, but you're inside. That's what I want because I hate outside. They have rope string lights with those old-fashioned light bulbs and I can't. It was amazing. It was amazing. But the whole first part was a buffet, like burgers and pizza and whatever, and you just order food.
Prepared foods.
And the second floor is like a place to sit down and eat. And you can go upstairs and sit at a table and look over the rest of the peons as they do their food shopping and you eat your pizza. We didn't go up there because I didn't know that existed. We will go up there next time without a doubt. Very excited to try it. But we
Nice.
got, for the first time ever, have you had a tomato pie? You're a man of the world.
No, I haven't had a tomato pie.
We had a tomato pie, Pennsylvania's finest. So a tomato pie is it's a pizza without cheese, basically. They had like
Which is arguably the best part.
They had a cheese, right?
The cheese.
I would say so, yeah. This was a Wegmans like prepared one. It's not like a frozen, like I keep thinking of that guy from that TikTok. All right.
All right.
They got like the Wegmans chef there making these things and they crank them out, put them in a box and sell them that day and chuck them if nobody buys them. So I was like, you know what? That looks good. Let's get it. We got it, brought it home. 10 out of 10. Loved it. I couldn't get enough of it. Mom Brain, you really liked it. You weren't as crazy as I was, but you loved it.
Yeah.
Or you
You
liked
take it home, put it in the oven.
Yep.
And then you eat it.
10 minutes in the oven. Yeah. It's just a pizza without cheese, but obviously they do it a little bit different with the sauce because it's not going to.
Does it look like pizza without
can
cheese?
show
It
you.
just
Just like a Sicilian pizza. It's not as thick as Sicilian,
what
but
you
it's
mean,
like
yeah.
square.
I can show you
and bready.
exactly what it looks like. I'll bring up a picture here. But it was.
Did you add while you were eating it? Did you say, I kind of wish I had cheese on there?
That's the funny thing. I didn't think that, and I thought I would. I was like, I'm definitely like, I'm gonna eat this and be like, what would make this good? Cheese. I didn't miss it at all. I thought I had a picture
I actually
of it.
would have put like arugula and like some like balsamic glaze or
Ooh.
something like that. Maybe like some shaved
got a picture of
Parmesan
it.
and
There you go.
Yeah, I mean it looks pretty good, like you said.
Of course, for the live stream viewers, there's a tiny picture
but
of
it'd
it
have
for
to be
you.
some really tasty sauce for me to just kind of not be wanting more. I think I haven't eaten one, so
It was a really tasty sauce. I thought the sauce that's the guy, Malik Halo. Thank you so much. I thought it was a really good sauce. I'm sending the picture to the chat. There you go. That's what it looks like. Does it look appetizing? I would say no, but it was really, really good. Here's the best part, because you and I are on the same journey. A Dunkin' Donuts size box when you get a dozen donuts?
yeah.
That's how big the pizza was. 1,000 calories, the whole thing.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's you get a lot. I ate half of it for 500 calories. And I was like, this is fantastic.
That's
So,
great.
so yeah, it's it's so good. I don't know what to say. But I could spend a whole show talking about Wegmans, but I won't. But I'll probably talk about it again at some point.
Nice.
Moving on to site-related stuff. We're getting closer to Nintendo-related news. Special thanks to Steve Irwin, RIP. He is our first official social media man in terms of creating YouTube Shorts and TikToks. If you are subscribed to our YouTube channel, you may have seen one of 3 shorts that got posted this week, and they are special edits of things we talk about in the podcast. So I do shorts, or I don't do shorts. I do YouTube clips from each podcast every week, and he takes those segments that I talk about or that I select and then make shorts out of them. Although he is welcome to make shorts of anything that he wants. He doesn't have to do what I say. I give him free reign. So his first 3 are up on YouTube right now as shorts, and the 2 of them are on TikTok because I'm learning how to do things on TikTok as far as like posting with captions and all that garbage and the times when you're supposed to post. So that's a bit more of a feeling out process. But they're up there. There's a Dave the Diver one, and there's a Mario one. We got another one that is a QVC style edit to us talking about the Nitro deck. So that I will be posting tomorrow. But thank you, Steve Irwin,
You want me to
RIP.
tell a little value story on that?
It's already done. Hi, Solid Master Link. Good to see you. So thank you to Steve Irwin, RIP. I appreciate it. And now a thanks for all of you. Huge thanks to the Patreon people. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's this new push on social media or whatever, but we are getting new patrons left and right. So thank you for the new wave of patrons that have joined Patreon. Mom Brain, did you know that you could join the GoNintendo Patreon?
For $1.
For $1. That's right, for $1. And I talk about Nintendo and movies and TV shows and music and a whole bunch of wrestling and anime and you name it. New post every single day. Promise you, new post every single day. And I reply to every single comment. So if you leave a comment there, I will respond to you. And it helps out Hi Fluffernutter. Helps out GoNintendo in general. So thank you to the new wave of subscribers. I hope you're having fun. Radical Defect says his Sonic post brought about a major revelation in me. There you go. What's my Sonic post? Well, spend $1 and go see what it is.
For $1.
For $1. Did that. Also, I thank you to everybody
about me.
who follows me or follows GoNintendo on Threads. If you don't follow us on Threads, you can follow us at GoNintendo Threads. We've been getting GoNintendo Threads. We've been getting a really nice uptick in followers on Threads ever since they added a search feature in, because now people can search for what they want to find. So in the last week or so, we've gotten like 100 more followers there. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. And everybody, I don't know if I should say this. It's a smaller crowd on Threads, obviously.
Everybody on Threads is SOBs.
And everybody on Threads is a boring old biddy. Ned!
I was more animal than man.
On X, we have, I don't know, 70, I don't remember what it is, 74,000, 78,000, I don't remember, something like that. So much bigger audience. On Threads, we got, I'll tell you exactly, 465. So a much smaller audience. And again, I had the Instagram account that I could have linked it to. I didn't want to do that. I don't want to force people. So we're growing organically, the old-fashioned way over there. But much smaller audience. But the audience over there is so nice. X. Not that there's not nice people on X. There are, but a bit more vitriol on X, let's say. So thank you to everybody who's following on Threads. And if Threads isn't your thing, totally fine. That's okay. But I just wanted to extend a thank you for that.
And if we wanted to let the audience know where you can get Threads and what it is, RMC is going to say now.
Yes, of course. For those who don't know, Threads is it's a few months old now, made by the Zuck.
That's exactly
owned by Facebook, Instagram, man.
Yep.
And it's their competitor to X. All you have to do is go on, your Google Play Store or your iOS App Store and type in Threads, and that's it.
So it's like X, but for Facebook users.
No, I'd say it's more for Instagram users.
For Instagram users, I was also going to say it was more like that.
Basically, it's the exact same thing as X, but with less features right now. But I don't mean it as a knock, really. It's just,
there's nicer people.
I like Threads. I really do like Threads. And at first, they didn't have a search feature. You would just follow you could search who you wanted to follow, but you couldn't type in like Nintendo and get Nintendo related accounts. They've added that now. Important thing. But I like it. There's something about it I like. I wish they had a web version, like a what's the word? Why can't I think of the word? I can only do it from my phone. I can't go on like my computer and make posts, which is annoying. But why can't I think of that word? It's going to drive me absolutely insane. But anyway, in general, I like Threads. But so you're not missing anything you don't have to get Threads. We do the exact same thing on X. Like you're not getting anything extra on Threads. It's just another way to follow for people who don't want to support X or don't like X. Or whatever your reason, it doesn't matter. You get the same things that you get on X on Threads. So
I'm seeing a lot of people thanking you for explaining that here in the chat. So thank you very much. Don't look.
I was going to say, I'll take your word for it and I won't look.
Yep. Thank you is what they're saying.
So there you go. We're on Threads. And moving on. We did that. We only have one more thing before we get the regular news. And it's a surprise for you, Mom Brain. You weren't here, but you are here now.
A surprise.
Can you guess what it is?
Is it Fae Farm related?
No, good guess. One more guess or you're done.
Is it NPD?
No, we remember not NPD anymore, Circana. I have completed Spy Family.
Wow.
Last week, even though a month ago I made sure you said it on record and I asked you directly 2 different ways and you said it was okay if I didn't watch it. Last week you asked me, did you watch it? And I was like, we did all this already. And you said I didn't have to. And you seemed disappointed. So I said, you know what? Because I was like, now the entertainment world is free to me and I can go wherever I want. And I fulfilled the obligations that I should have done right away and I didn't. And that's my fault. I made good on it. And then right when I was like getting through to the other side, you were like, what about Spy Family? So I was like, so not that I wasn't interested in Spy Family. It just wasn't on my list of things I needed to get done soon. But now it's done. I have completed all of Spy Family. I watched the last episode of the first season last night. I like it. It's not like my favorite show, but I like it. I will say that Anya is very funny because she's the perfect mix of like sweet and stupid and silly and endearing.
Yep.
Like to tell you the truth, I shouldn't have said it like this. Never mind.
She reminds you of me.
I shouldn't have said it like that.
Nope. Absolutely.
Her love of like naps and Bond the dog and just the way she handles certain situations. I'm like, this is Mom Brain.
Yep.
So you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. But yeah, I like it. I like everybody. I really like how there's the one, I guess this is spoiler, but it's not really spoiler. It's the first season. It's been over for a while. I like the one spy woman who is obsessed with Lloyd and like wants to be with him. Yeah, but just because she's like crazy over the top, but when she speaks, she's very like monotone, and I really like that. Because when I saw her come into the show, I was like, I don't want a really serious character that's gonna like try and destroy the family dynamic and all that. And then in that same episode, you find out she's just in love with them, and I was like, oh, okay. The brother, yes, the brother is basically everybody in the show is secretly insane. Maybe not Lloyd
and Anya.
Yeah, but Anya's a kid, but maybe not Lloyd. I mean, he's been trying to the main guy in his mission that he's trying to get information on. I'm intrigued to see where that goes. So yeah, very, very much liked it. It has lots of heartwarming moments, and it's funny. It's legit funny. I really like it. So I am all caught up. There you go.
Great job.
Thoughts?
Thank you. That makes me happy.
You happy now?
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it.
Yes. Now, once again, I can go where I please.
Mhm.
So I wanted to go to that other anime a week ago, but Frieren or whatever it was called, but I didn't. I did Spy Family, but now Spy Family's done. So onwards and upwards and outwards, where we go. Like you said, that show on Netflix I really want to see from the horror guy.
The Fall of the House of Usher.
I really want to see that. I want to do this anime. I have my Google Docs. I was going to say I could go to it now, but if I do, I'll probably just start a whole new conversation. I'll save that for the after show. You'll hear what's on my list of what I want to watch. But we got Nintendo news. Damn it. There's a lot of Nintendo news to talk about this week. News. Let's do it. There were some big stories this week, and to tell you the truth, they got bigger as the week went on. We can oh boy, big news. We can skip that one because I'll mention it very quickly. Masahiro Sakurai said he was doing a tie-up, a collaboration with another YouTube channel to play some games. He teased it. We didn't know what the channel was. Now we know. He teamed up with the Concho himself, Areno, for Game Center CX, or Retro Game Master, as it's called here. Over in Japan, there's this guy who's on this long-running TV show who didn't know anything about video games, who would have to sit down and play games, and they'd give him challenges to complete. They'd be like, get to this level, or get this kind of score, or defeat this boss. And he would struggle through them because he didn't really play games. And he talked to like developers and other gamers to get insight to try and complete the goal by the end of the episode. So that show's still going on in Japan. Very popular.
Sounds like a ripoff of Parents Play to me.
That's I think they're started first, but I'm not sure. But yes.
How funny would that be if they did an American version with your parents and your dad had to like speak to developers to get tips on video games? I would watch that in a second.
And the developers would quit their jobs. So yes, Sakurai teamed up with them, and the episode's out now, and it is available in English as translated by 8-4, the studio who does game localizations. They've worked with Nintendo on Fire Emblem and things like that. So English version out now. Let's go to the first big story. There's a game called Suika Game, Suika. It's available on the Switch. It has become a global sensation. Have you heard of it, Mom Brain? Or do?
I haven't.
No.
You may have seen it on TikTok or on YouTube thumbnails or something like that. It's either you know the game 2048. It's a mobile game. You combine numbers into bigger numbers.
No.
I don't believe so.
It was another massive hit. It's similar to that, except in this game, you are combining fruit. You touch certain fruits together, they fall into like, a play field. And if they touch each other, they'll combine into a different fruit. And you want to grow the biggest fruit, blah, 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 blah. Why did it catch on so hugely? I don't know. Only available in Japan, became a massive hit in Japan, went right to the top of the eShop in Japan.
It looks fun.
It does look fun. Yeah, I want to play it. And then it just started to catch on worldwide. It is a phenomenon everywhere right now.
Is fun.
The biggest streamers around are playing it for like 6-hour streams. And again, you can't get it on the eShop here. eShop is region free though. So as long as you have a Japanese account and you add some funds to the Japanese account, and if you're wondering, how do I do that? Because I don't have a credit card, a Japanese credit card or whatever, you can go to a site like Play Asia and buy a points card and just add the points to your account, and then you're good to go. There's guides all over the place online on how to do that. It's very, very simple. But anyway, that's how the people over here are playing the game. And I saw a TikTok. I've seen it pop up on TikTok a few times, but I saw a TikTok of a bar full of people, where instead of on the TV at the bar, which is almost always sports, they have someone at the bar playing this game, and people are like, strawberry, touch the watermelon. And it's not a joke. Like, they time-lapse the whole night of them playing this game, showing how into it people are. And they're like, oh, it's going to touch the watermelon haircut. Like, people losing their minds. So it's a spectator sport.
It definitely looks like if you were playing it, it could be addictive.
Yeah.
It's got a very colorful, inviting feel to it, and there's something with me about gradually getting bigger. There's a cell phone game I played years ago called Osmos, I think, and you play like a little blue orb and you're surrounded in space by other orbs, and you just have to go around and eat the small ones and avoid the big ones, and eventually you get big enough to eat the big ones. And it's simple, and it's just very, very addictive. And this, looking at this, it's kind of like a Dr. Mario meets that game a little bit, but it's got its own kind of fun to it.
There,
so.
I know what you're talking about mechanic wise. There's something to that feeling of like growing something. I don't know. It's addictive. So
Yeah,
clearly
like
other people feel the same thing.
Katamari, when you start so
Yeah,
small,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
by
yeah.
the end you're like pushing a planet around, and you're like,
So
this is amazing.
It's a huge hit. We haven't heard anything about localization yet. I would be shocked if it didn't get localized. But like I said, it's $2. You can hop on a Japanese account and get it. But this is the big hot game right now. You look it up on YouTube or Twitch, it's all over the place. Joe Shabadu says there's something borderline insidious about how perfect the sound effects are when you drop the fruit down and when fruit merge together. I can hear it in my head as I write this, calling
beep.
to me.
There you go. That's another thing too. I watched it without the sound on, and I was still intrigued. I imagine even with the sound, it's even better. Like that Vampire Survivors game, it was because of the dinging of all the coins you're collecting.
right
that you're like,
kind of
this
sound
is
effects-
amazing.
The right kind of sound effects can trigger something in your brain without a doubt. That's why slot machines sound the way they do, because they've studied that for years to figure out like these noises make that portion of your brain light up, and that's what they want you to have happen. So moving on, I made this a top story because of you two at the table. Well, because readers are interested, but I wanted to make sure we talked about it here. As we know, Nintendo and Lego are teaming up on Animal Crossing Lego, and now we know what the lineup includes. So let me tell you guys, there's Bunny's Outdoor Activities set for $20. With this playset, you'll have loads of fun helping the Bunny Rabbit minifig set up her buildable toy tent before heading out to explore the area. It's got a shovel, a bug net, an axe, all the recognizable tools. And it includes a mechanism that lets Bunny leap the river using a vaulting pole.
That's so cool.
There you go. There's also Captain's Island Boat Tour for $30. Set sail as you head off with Captain the Turtle on his boat to the Animal Crossing inspired deserted island to meet Marshall the Squirrel. You collect bamboo, go digging for bells, fishing rod included as well. Rearrange the base plates to make the island however you want. There's also the Nook's Cranny and Rosie's House combo for $75. Invent new stories for Tom Nook and the Rosie minifigs. This set features recognizable details from Animal Crossing, letting kids explore the shop where Tom Nook sells items such as a DIY recipe card, flower seeds, fish bait, and tools in exchange for bells. You can go for tea at Rosie's house, which is also full of familiar elements. The one and only Isabel is getting the house visit set for $40. Take a tour of Fauna's house with Isabel.
Fauna, she's one of my villagers.
The interior, styled in Fauna's colors, is filled with recognizable details as well as a host of new ones to inspire kids to create fresh stories for their characters. Fire pretend slingshot to pop the present carrying balloon. Check the cell phone tile for messages. Post a letter in the mailbox or help the minifigs water the garden and grab an apple from the tree. There's also a workbench that holds a recipe card, and there's a surprise hidden in the tree. There's also finally
shake it? Is it a wasp?
Julian's birthday party, which is just $15. Throw a party for Julian, a horse from Animal Crossing. Gift includes a microphone and a bell coin, and share cupcakes with Julian as they blow out candles on the birthday cake. The base plate also includes toy balloons and decorations for you to customize your scene with. All of these are coming out March 2024. So there's your first wave of Animal Crossing Lego sets, everybody. Get
smoke
on your pre-orders.
The Lego smoke coming out of the chimney is so cool.
Yeah. So get your pre-orders in because, the Invincible Season 2 official trailer just came out right now. Get your pre-orders in because these suckers are going to go. Kurbo says these won't be out for Christmas. So when's Deux' birthday? There you go. I'll leave that up to him to share if he wants to. But yes, not Christmas time. You got to wait until March. I'm sorry. Moving on from such a jolly and happy story, my brain is looking at the Animal Crossing stuff right now. Intensely, too. What's got your eye there?
Nook's Cranny and Rosie's house.
Oh, the most expensive one, yeah.
Isabel's house visit is, I mean, they're all great, but.
Well, you need them all to make a real Animal Crossing experience, of
Sure
course.
do.
Moving on from something fun and lighthearted and silly to something it's serious, but it's more aggravating and annoying than serious. Pokemon Go. You played it, Monbrain. I played it. You've never played it, right?
I've never played it, but I heard it's popular.
Yes, it's popular. So much so that some people shirk responsibilities to play the game, including police officers.
Uh-oh.
There were 2 police officers who were in a patrol car, and they decided instead of doing their job, they wanted to play Pokemon Go. So they were sitting in their car, tracking their squad car, tracking Pokemon, driving around the streets to chase the Pokemon down that they wanted. And they did all this while they weren't doing their job, but they were on duty. And lo and behold, there was a burglary happening at a mall right where they were. And you know what they did? They ignored the calls for help. So the radio comes on and it's like, call for backup, burglary at blah, 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 whatever. Literally right down the street from where they were. They completely ignored it. And they were like, we don't want to do that, whatever. And they went on their Pokemon Go journey, driving down the streets, having at length detailed discussions about Pokemon Go and the Pokemon in it and why they were trying to catch them.
Well, this is all like on camera, like they have cameras in the cars.
That's the best part. We knew that they had evidence that this happened. Now, through FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act, we have the full 45-minute video of these guys in the patrol car talking about Pokemon Go and driving, like breaking laws, driving on the street, like running stop signs and through lights and everything to chase Pokemon, talking about Pokemon, them saying, we don't want to do we're not responding to the call.
What?
The whole video, the whole dash cam, we
That's
got the whole
crazy.
thing. There's a 5-minute highlight reel that gives you the best stuff, but you can watch the whole thing.
That sucks.
So they were going after Snorlax and Togetic in particular, if you wanted to know.
Oh, okay. Well, then I get it.
Once you know that, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I mean...
So an officer that was higher up, whoever's above them, got in touch and was like, "Hey guys, why didn't you respond to the call?" And let me see, they made some really stupid reason.
They said,
"Let's have a little fun."
Yeah, in the video you can hear the officers scoff at the request for backup, and they're like, "We're not doing that." Higher in command officer Jose Gomez followed up with the 2 officers to find out why they didn't respond. And they were like, hemming and hawing. And Gomez started asking them a whole bunch of questions and was like, these guys are lying about something here. Got the footage of them in their squad car, found out what was going on. The 2 have been terminated. So there you go. They lost their. Also, I should say this happened in 2017, which reported on it. We reported on it back then, but we only had the basic details. Now we got the whole thing with the video. I highly recommend you watch the highlight reel because it's 5 minutes of gold. But yeah, there you go. They were playing Pokemon Go, and it cost them their jobs.
Man,
Steister says Pokemon Go to jail. There you go. Yeah, I don't think they served time for what they did, but they certainly don't have their jobs anymore.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. Nintendo's talking about Super Mario Brothers Wonder, which we are less than a week away from, people. October 20th. So we are 6 days out. And Nintendo, everybody's been like, finally. This is a move away from the new Super Mario Brothers series. We get a new style. We get something with more personality. We get some flair. We get some pizzazz. And Nintendo has confirmed that this is a new phase for the franchise. So this comes from Nintendo's Takashi Tezuka.
Charles Martinet could have told you that.
He says, quote, I believe that we have transitioned from the new Super Mario Brothers series into a new phase. But at this point, we have no idea what the next game style will be. So they're saying, hey, listen, new Super, it's old Super now. We're done. We're in the wonder phase. And what does that mean? We don't know, but we're going to see where it
We're
goes.
wondering ourselves.
So that's it. We'll see where things go from here. Now, when he says we have no idea what the next game style will be, you're a liar. They're working on the next console Mario. Maybe he's referring to 2D Mario. That could be the case, but we all know they're working on the next 3D Mario. So, but it is what it is. We got the most important tidbit there, which is like New Super Mario Brothers. We're done with that.
Man, so exciting.
Oh my god!
And this sentiment was echoed by Nintendo's Masanobu Sato, the art director on Wonder. He says, quote, "What we do know is that Super Mario Brothers Wonder has set a bigger stage for adventure for Mario and friends," end quote. So they want you to know, like, yeah. We know the new series ran its course, and we probably did it. We probably used that style and approach a little bit longer than we should have. And now we're on. And again, I love all the new games, but from a style perspective, I didn't like it when they on the DS. It was fine. I was fine with it, but I thought it lacked personality. And then as it went on, I was like, can we get something like with a bit more pizzazz? I know I said pizzazz already, but a bit more oomph in the style and the art department, because Nintendo sings in that area in every other franchise, and I was surprised they just kept going with the new series. But where'd that come from?
Because Nintendo sings in that
Oh,
area.
oh yes, of course. Sorry, Josh.
You don't even know what you're saying.
I don't know. I don't remember. I forget this whole show after the camera's off. But yeah, it's nice to see them finally go. Like now, I'm seeing, at least from those new games, gameplay wise, totally loved them. But now with Wonder, we're seeing the Nintendo I know when it comes to art style and little touches and personality. That's what I want and expect from Nintendo, and that's what we're getting. And there's so much more that we haven't seen, because all we've seen is the trailer, and we played 15 minutes of the game. So very excited. Less than a week away. We're almost here, people. French Fry Guy says, as long as they keep the mixture of 2D and 3D style Mario title releases, I'm fine with that. I wish they would do the same thing with Zelda. I still want a new 2D top-down Zelda game from time to time, and it's a nice way to fill the 4 to 5 year wait between new 3D installments. Well, French Fry Guy, I agree. I think it would be very sad if we lost the 2D style Zelda games. I don't know if we're ever going to get back to them.
It's impossible. They would never just not.
We haven't
ever
had
do
one
that
in a
again.
long time.
When was the last one?
Link Between Worlds?
I guess that
Triforce Heroes? Did that come out after? I don't remember.
I guess A Link Between Worlds would probably be the
Cadence of Hyrule?
closest.
None of them are close. I don't know what the most recent one is out of those groups, but yeah. What do you do? Because that's going to be seen as a clear step down for a lot of people. I would not see it like that. I see it as a different style now,
But
legacy style of Zelda.
Why would Super Mario Wonder not be seen as a quote step down by those same people?
Well, that's because like Mario is more iconic in terms of like the everyman video game. Like there's plenty of people who haven't played Mario games in 3D because they're like, that's not my Mario. When it comes to Zelda, you get more of like a traditional gamer thing. But now with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, you get people who are like, this is Zelda to me. So they're going to see a top-down Zelda and be like, no. So Link's Awakening remake, yeah. Solmaster Link says that. I mean, I guess that pseudo counts. It's a game that already existed but was remade. So like, that's
if they came out with a new Zelda that had that art style, say the Link's Awakening remaster didn't exist or remake didn't exist, would you consider that what we're looking for here? I don't know if I
Link's Awakening
would.
style.
You know, the Link's Awakening remake.
Yeah.
If they came out with a Zelda game that was that style, like that, those graphics and everything, but and it was totally new, and they didn't do the Link's Awakening remake, would you consider that scratching the itch that we're talking about here for a top-down?
It's still top-down and all that? It would be top-down?
It's Link's Awakening remake, but a new Zelda. Like it looks exactly like the Link's Awakening remake, but it's a new Zelda. Would you? Is that?
But that's what I'm asking. How does it play? Is it top-down?
Well, you played the Link's Awakening remake, right?
I'm so confused with what you're saying. This is a me problem. I'm sorry. I'm not following what you're saying.
So I'm doing a hypothetical situation
Yes.
here. This does not exist. So I was saying, let's say a new Zelda game came out that was the style of the Link's Awakening remake.
All right, by style, what do you mean?
Like the graphics, like the
Okay.
look of it, that shadow
that-
box or that whatever it is.
Okay,
whatever
now
it is.
this is what I'm asking. Are like the style, I also account the camera angle. Are you saying it would be a camera angle akin to Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, or a camera angle like Link's Awakening?
I was just going to say exactly like Link's Awakening.
Okay.
And then I was going to say, would that game fall under what we're looking for here of like,
Yeah.
we want a new like top-down Zelda?
Then I
kind
would
of
say,
thing.
yeah, definitely. I would love that. And I know people, traditional Zelda fans would be happy, but the people who just got in for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, I don't think the vast majority would play it. They'd have another Zelda game that sells like 3 to 10 million, somewhere in there. I don't know.
Is that is that going to be detrimental now that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom have been so
That's
popular
the question.
that they're like, well, we're not going to make the money if we go back, so let's not do it. That's what you're saying.
That's the question, because they're like, but here's the other thing. It would be a nice buffer title, because a mainline full 3D Zelda game would take 5 to 7 years. So if you could do I don't want to say lesser, but a smaller Zelda in that style as the stopgap between that wait, that makes sense to me. And then they'd be like, we're expecting 3 to 5 million sales on this. That's fine. And then when the true 3D successor comes out, that'll be our 20 plus million. So I hope that'd be the way they would go, but I honestly don't know, because I could see them being like, people would like see that first hurdle is going to be the toughest one. So you have Tears of the Kingdom, and say they do something in Link's Awakening style. When fans see that, they'd be like, what the hell? I want Tears of the Kingdom. And that'd woo them off the franchise, or steer them off the franchise
like
for a while.
when Ocarina Majora's Mask came out, and then we were expecting, or I was expecting the Ghost World trailer, or not Ghost World, what is it called? Space World trailer. And Ghost World's a good movie.
Yeah.
But the Space World trailer, and we got Wind Waker, and then I was pissed off, and so were a lot of other people. Wrongly, but so maybe it's a similar situation as that, where
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I would love for it to continue, but we'll see. Steve Irwin says hi in the chat. Steve Irwin also, don't you worry about it. It's a me thing, because I only just tried the captions. Steve Irwin's talking about captions in his visual jokes on the TikToks and all that stuff. Steve, you said you were gonna try and bake in the captions from here on out, but I did the captions that are automatically generated on TikTok this week, so I believe it won't be a problem. So that's why you're saying that. The video I put up, some of the stuff that Steve Irwin did. This is in the TikTok version. The stuff that Steve Irwin did in the TikTok version, his editing and his little jokes and little graphics. Sometimes the text gets in the way. I thought I could move the text, but maybe I did it wrong. It's my first time using captions, but it shouldn't be a problem going forward anyway. So Steve, email me if you want to clear things up, or if I'm just an idiot. But yes, shouldn't be a worry from here on out. But anyway, yep, we'll see what happens with Zelda. It's bigger than ever, so the next steps are very important. Really? That's amazing.
really.
Moving on.
Solmaster Link says, I think they just have to announce a Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom game is in development for new fans of Zelda. Yeah, that could be it too. That could certainly be it. North America, what do we got this week? Let me tell you.
That's none of your business.
No, it's their business. I'm going to tell them right now. Josh, do you want to hear?
Sure, whatever.
Okay, I know you're a hardcore gamer, so maybe there's some games in here for you.
A big hello to my fans.
Available on October 17th will be Sonic Superstars, the brand new 2D Sonic game that is for 4 players. A Boy and His Blob Retro Collection comes out October 17th. That is A Boy and His Blob on NES and A Boy and His Blob Alphadia 1 and 2. That's a combination in one download package.
Like the little Rice Krispie brain elf?
No, I wish.
Oh.
I'd play a game with that, Alf. Hold on a second. Oh, okay. Just making sure that's not Nintendo related. Ancient Relics, Egypt. Arcade Archives, Darius 2. Astbros, Asterix and Obelix, Heroes. That's that Viking duo that has been in comics since we were little kids and long before that, too. You know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Ball Lab 2. Big Vehicle Simulator Games Bundle. Truck Farming, Flight Construction, Bus Ship. Yep. Blockbuster Billy.
William.
That's,
he prefers to be
that's
called
all
William
about Billy
now.
Zane, I believe, too.
Oh, really?
Blockbuster Billy and in parentheses Zane. Break the Glass Cup, Breaking Physics Puzzle. Car Games Bundle, Racing, Driving, School, Police Drag, Drift Taxi.
That was a really great story.
Chemically Bonded. Company of Heroes Collection. Cook, Serve, Delicious. That's an award-winning franchise. First one's finally on Switch. Dark American Horror Stories.
Dark Metamorphosis.
Dateless Love Story Behind the Restoration.
Dateless love.
Dementium, The Ward, the DS Classic game, is now available on Switch with a visual overhaul.
Didn't I come to you with a pair of Depends?
It did. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Wow, you're right. Dino Ranch, Ride to the Rescue. Dwarve, Eventide 3, Legacy of Legends.
Dementium the Ward. DS game?
Yes. I just said all
You
this.
said all that. And that's the one that came with the I remember that.
Got it.
Yeah, I don't know why I remember it
I'm
so
glad that
vividly
you
too.
Because
did.
it was
'cause
a
that's so
first-person
cool.
horror game on the DS. Like, it was very
That's
odd
so
for the time.
cool.
Revamped for the Switch, out now. Obviously 60 frames per second.
Obviously.
Haunted House, Ironsmith Medieval Simulator, Kingdom 80s, Kitten Gumi, the Sakabato's Thief, Learn Words, Use Syllables, Lost Dream, Overgrown, Noises Collection G, Persona Collection, that's 3, 4, and 5 in one digital package. If you buy this digital package, it's $10 cheaper than buying each game individually. Pixel Game Maker Series Ninja Runner. Ari Surs, that's Ari period S-U-R-S. River City Rival Showdown. Sakurai Alien. Salt Sea Chronicles. My brain, check that out. Shadows of Truth. Skull Island Rise of Kong. Slots Casino Game. Speediest Car Racing Formula and Autosport. Submersible Simulator. Discover the Titanic into Ocean.
Ooh.
Subpar Pool. Taxi Driver Simulator 2024.
You look at me.
Really getting ahead of the schedule here. The Grinch Christmas Adventures. The Meaning of Dreams. Transformers Earthspark Expedition. Trapped in the Tricky Prison. Traumatarium. Turbo Dash Kart Racing. Vlad's Circus Descend into Madness. Whitestone. Z Escape. Zombie Defense. And finally, Zombie Raft. There are your North American games. Will you take up the Nicky Hill mantle for us once again?
What are the next
could
European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nicky's sweet releases.
It's time for the European Switch eShop releases for the week of October 12th, the year of our Lord 2023. This is Stu Michaels filling in for the incomparable Nicky Hill. Nicky Hill, we speak your name. Another jam-packed week. Airship Defender. Ancient Relics, Egypt. Anime Poly Puzzle Sci-Fi Maidens. Astabros. Astros Smash. Blockbuster Billy. Zane. Chemically Bonded. Company of Heroes Collection. Cook, Serve, Delicious. Dementium, The Ward. Dino Ranch, Ride to the Rescue. Disgaea 7. Domino Draw. Edna and Harvey Bundle. Eventide 3, Legacy of Legends. Freaky Trip. Harvest Moon. The
Ooh.
Windows of Anthos. Haunted House. Hi Cars. Hi Cars. Hyper Gym.
Hi, guys. Hi.
Hyper Gym Life 3D Tough Guys. Jigsaw Ice Princess. Long Days Gone. Is that a sequel to Days Gone?
No. That company got very mad when a sequel wasn't greenlit.
Oh.
It sold a lot, too.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't for me, but I know like a lot of people ended up liking it like over time. But yeah, whatever. Yeah. Lost Dream Overgrown. Merge Master. Park Racer. Persona Collection. Project Blue. Resurs. That's re.sirs.
Yeah, I don't know what it is,
Yeah,
but
something like
that's what it says.
Red Raptor. River City Rival Showdown. Sakura Alien. Salt Sea Chronicles. Shy Cat's Hidden Orchestra. Subpar Pool. Terra Alia. The Legend of Shadow Mask of the Force. The Pale Beyond. Trapped in the Tricky Prison. Turbo Dash Kart Racing. That's annoying. Twin Mind Nobody's Here Collector's Edition. Ultimate Jigsaw Puzzle Collection. Wild Card Football. And last but not least, Yoga Studio.
Thank you, dude. Appreciate it. No comment on there, cause just no comment. Sometimes it happens. I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing that slate of titles with us. Now, normally those would be the final top stories of the week. Maybe one more would squeak out, but the end of the week was like, hey, here's some of the biggest news of the whole week, maybe the whole month, maybe the whole year. Let's get into it. First one up, the Switch in Japan is tracking ahead of sales of the Switch in Japan last year. This system is 6+ years old, and we're seeing sales stronger this year than last. Number of reasons for that. Tears of the Kingdom.
Better games.
The Switch OLED Mario Edition.
Wonder.
Wonder's right around the corner, and there's been a strong lineup in general.
Thank you
So,
much for playing my game.
we're halfway through the current fiscal year. At this point, last fiscal year in Japan, the Switch had sold 2.15 million units. In Japan, where we are this fiscal year, halfway through, 2.28 million have been sold. So if Nintendo keeps up this pace, Japan's sales for a 6+7-year-old system will be above what they were the year before, which is insanity. Normally, year 1 to 2, year 2 to 3, year 3 to 4, that's what you expect to see. Then year 5, you're like, it's close. And then year 6, you're like, not a chance. And then down from there. But yeah, that's the case. And as always, plenty of analysts chimed in. I'm not going to name names, but one analyst was like, I don't get it. It's just basically a Switch that's a different color. Why is the Mario one selling so well? And I'm like, you're an analyst and you cover video games and you can't figure this out. But I wrote about that on Patreon if you'd like to hear or read more. So yeah, analysts once again boggle my mind. I don't get it, but there you go. We'll track the whole year, obviously, but halfway through a very impressive milestone.
It's like, yeah, like you said, you're an analyst, you work on video games, and you're confused about this, like the strongest selling, most affordable, most versatile, like everyone's been trying to come out with a handheld since they did it. Like,
and the analyst didn't say more, they didn't elaborate on it, but you have to think they're like, Microsoft and Sony put out new versions of their systems that are more powerful, and this Switch isn't more powerful. How is it selling more? I'm like, what are you analyzing? Because you clearly don't know anything about this market. Like, I don't get it. Although that new PS5 Slim is much smaller than the other one. I
noticed it. It looks exactly the same.
It looks exactly the same, but it is considerably smaller. So if you like how the system looks, but you wish it took up less space, then
I just wish I waited at this point, because there's literally, a handful of games that I needed a PS5 to play, so it's pathetic.
I haven't touched mine in a couple months now.
Yeah.
Moving on to other Mario related things, Nintendo talked about how they keep Mario and Zelda relevant. This is once again a Game Informer to talk to Nintendo's Takashi Tezuka, who spoke up on Mario since he's the guy that does a lot of Mario stuff. He says, quote, when we're creating every individual course, we just keep iterating. We keep looking, working on it until we believe that it's interesting. If it's interesting to play or fun to play, it's because someone made it fun to play. A major characteristic of side-scrolling 2D games is that you can still make changes to the course during the final stage of development. Of course, this cannot be achieved without excellent course editing tools. I think it's important to have tenacity and continue to strive for improvement until the very end, referencing feedback from focus groups. When looking at creating a new Mario title, we actually went ahead and brought in a lot of younger people into our staff. There are people who hadn't made a Super Mario game before. They are our target audience. They're, of course, developers, but they're also people who enjoy playing games, and so they wanted to create something that they themselves would enjoy as gamers. We never, ever, ever ignore the feedback that we get from our new staff members. And when I present an idea myself, they really are quite honest in saying, yeah, I don't like that, or I do like that. I think that's a really beneficial environment that we have. End quote. Great. That's exactly what you want to hear. Nintendo's like, it's fun because we strive to make it fun, and we are working to make it fun until the very final moments of the game's development. We are not giving up on anything. We're tweaking to the very final seconds. And also, the developers at Nintendo that have been there, we touched on this last week, I think. The developers that have been in Nintendo for a long time aren't like, we're the seniors here. We know how to make a Mario game. We're not going to listen to the new guys. They do the opposite when the new guys are like, I'd like this, or your idea stinks, or we think this should be in here. The senior developers are like, okay, yeah, there's something to this. Let's try it out. Because without that new blood injected into the franchise, things get old and stale. So perfect mix. Exactly what you want to hear. Over on the Zelda side of things, we heard from the one and only Al Newman. And he talked about tenacity as well. He says, when it comes to Zelda, quote, when it comes to Nintendo's development, I think we have a bit of tenacity with the ideas that we come up with. This is something I think Mr. Miyamoto has said in the past. But when you have an idea and you try to make it work and it doesn't work out, you don't give up on that idea. Instead, just wait for the right opportunity to arrive. Those ideas, and I think this is true of our developer, I think this is true of our developers, stick around in their heads. They keep them with them as they continue in their work. When those pile up and the right opportunity presents itself, we find the opportunity to implement those ideas. So again, we've seen this to be very true with Nintendo in general. They did the Wii U. It was not a hit. It was a commercial failure. But what does Nintendo do with their next system? They're like, well, we learned some things that worked with the Wii U and some things that really didn't work. Let's take that idea and iterate on it for our next system. You get the Switch. The rest is history. And Miyamoto has said numerous times, I get ideas. I try and make them work. Sometimes they don't. Put them on the shelf for 10, 20 years. Come back to it when the time is right and things work out. So that's what I love about Nintendo. They are convinced that there's no such thing as a bad idea. You just need the right time and opportunity to make that idea work. So with Nintendo's success in the game industry and how long they've been going and the amount of accolades and fans and money that they've made, seems to be a working setup for them. So good to hear that that's their approach with two of their biggest franchises that are only getting bigger. Seal Diver says they don't make any other games, so of course they are relevant. If you only make Mario and Zelda, then that's it. They're always going to be relevant. So there you go. Some really cool insight that we don't normally get. We don't need to do that. We're going to skip that one right now because it's the biggest story of the week. Almost in any other week would have been the biggest story of the week. We now have confirmed the new voice actor for Mario and Luigi.
Oh, is that what I sound like?
After a bit of speculation and some rumors, we got confirmation from voice actor Kevin Afghani. Excellent first name. Kevin Afghani is your new Mario and Luigi. In Super Mario Bros. Wonder, he will be voicing both characters. He took to X to say that he's, quote, incredibly proud to have voiced Mario and Luigi, end quote, in Super Mario Brothers Wonder. And he thanked Nintendo for inviting him to the Flower Kingdom. Kevin Afghani has a very small resume, but has some notable things. He's done voice work for Dragon Ball R&R as well as Genshin Impact. But his resume or his IMDb profile only has like 6 or 7 things in general. So he's a newer presence in the voice acting industry, and upstart, a up and comer, as you say. So this is by far his biggest break.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder how Nintendo found him. I'm sure, you know, any game needs, or a lot of games need voice actors to fill roles. But so maybe he came across Nintendo's path at some other point. But whatever happened, it paved the way for him to be Mario and Luigi.
There's a quote in the story here after it says incredibly proud to have voiced Mario and Luigi. He says that he spent a lot of time as a kid stomping Koopas. So he
with my best friend.
I thought it would be
Chris Pratt. So yeah, we don't know how, and that's the only Nintendo. The only thing Nintendo has said is that yes, he is. They are confirming he is the voice. So there you go. That is your Mario and Luigi. Kevin Afghani. Commit the name to memory because he's your new guy. There's a picture of him in Discord right now.
I wonder if Nintendo has him surrounded by like bodyguards 24/7 now, or if he has to drive around in like a Pope mobile or
His
something.
life has definitely changed, that's for sure. But yeah, we'll have to see once Wonder comes out who else has got new voices potentially. There's some discussion of Daisy potentially being voiced by somebody else as well. We don't know. But why did Nintendo just all of a sudden say, yeah, Kevin, go ahead. You can share the information on X randomly one day. Well, this is crazy. There's a demo of Super Mario Brothers Wonder at retailers. You can go to Best Buy or Target or Walmart and stand at Nintendo's Switch demo station and play a piece of the game. Yeah.
Cool.
It was last week it popped up.
That's so classic.
Yeah, you're any of those locations. You have all those locations close to your house.
I'll go to each one and play a little bit at each one, and then I'll act like I never played before, and I'll be like awesome at it.
You can go play it right now. Yes. Someone somehow connected to one of those retailers.
No way.
Got access to the demo and got it. Like they have the source code
just for the demo.
Yeah, for the demo, but the demo obviously has data tied to the full game to it. But they got the source code and they went poking around through it and got a whole list of voice actors that are associated with the game. Now, Kevin's name wasn't in the game, but there's a lot of speculation about who the voice actor was for Mario and Luigi, and there was somebody who came up that it ended up not being. But a lot of the voice actors that are in the source demo's text show the credits, and we know like this person does this voice and that person does that voice. That's confirmed. So Nintendo knew the writing's on the wall here. So like something happened that we unfortunately aren't happy about. And then mix that with the fact that some retailers have been like, street date, what street date? And they're selling Super Mario Brothers Wonder already.
That's always happened.
Where?
I mean, remember we used to like do that all the
that
time.
That doesn't happen as often anymore. It still does happen, but not as often. But
we'd like hear about a place that was breaking street date, and we'd be like driving all over the place.
Back in the day when I would do it, it would always be Walmart. You'd get somebody at Walmart who didn't care or didn't know.
Yeah.
Or you got lube.
Would you
I never did that with lube.
Would you do that today, or would you not do that?
No, I feel bad now. It's something I did in my, I would say youth, but older youth.
Man, but when you get that early, you feel so good, though.
I don't feel right knowing, like, I know this isn't supposed to be out. I shouldn't be doing this, so I stopped. But you know, it's the same thing I did with emulators. It was like, this is great. I can play whatever I want. Back then, it was like, I can get whatever game I want. And then eventually I felt bad.
Guilt I would have would be that the person who sold it to me would get in trouble. Like, and it would have been, like, my fault.
Yeah.
That would make me feel
bad. That's certainly part of it.
Yeah, because what would be the harm, since you're not sharing it with anyone, what would be the harm in you getting the game a week early?
Well,
like you
I just know it's not the right thing to do. Like, I know I'm doing something disingenuous, even if it's only for me. So I would feel bad, and I don't do it anymore. But you can do it, and I'm not telling you you're a bad person if you do. You're a bad person if you leak the source code online. But anyway, what happened is people got the game early. they start uploading things to social media for clout, like here's this level, here's the story, here's these characters. But then, of course, somebody else took the source code of the game, leaked it online, or the ROM, I should say, and leaked it online. So now people can illegally pirate the game, which is 100% wrong. Wrong. So we had the source code of the demo leak online that gave credits for the game in pieces and parts. Couple that with the fact that the game street date was broken, and some people who got the game early at retail put the ROM online for people to pirate. So Nintendo had all this happen within a span of a week, and they're like, "Here we go, everybody! Here we go! Everybody's gonna know already." So they're like, "Go ahead, let's get ahead of it a little bit, and you can confirm your Mario." So there you go. Kevin Afghani is your Mario, and your Luigi.
Takes a little of the sweetness out of it.
Is he doing Is he doing Wario in WarioWare Move It? I don't know that one yet. He didn't say that.
Oh my God!
Lucius6 says, "Rats, I didn't get the gig. A formal rejection would have been nice, Nintendo." Sorry you had to find out this way, Lucius, but no, you did not get the job. So congratulations to Mr. Afghani. May you have many years ahead of you where you voice Mario and Luigi and go to all kinds of events and get to do special things. And then one day you become an ambassador and you don't know what that means. So
It's a euphemism, like when you find out that the family dog went to live on a farm, but that farm really is that the dog had to be put down.
that's what it is. That's what it is.
He has. I'm not trying to put pressure on this guy who already has a lot of pressure on him, I'm sure, but I'm not even worried about the voice. I'm worried about, he's got big shoes to fill just as a human. I mean, that Martinet is a top class person. We've talked about it many times, our personal experiences with him. So I'm assuming if they do have Mr. Afghani, like, going to events and interacting with people, I mean, it's going to be tough to live up to the lovely man that is Charles Martinet.
Yeah, Charles Martinet, like all we know of Kevin Afghani right now is that he's a voice actor. Charles Martinet was a character himself. So yeah, it's like Reggie. Reggie, nobody can fill Reggie's shoes, or nobody has.
Thank
so
God,
far.
because he's
From
a union buster.
From a business standpoint, they
My
filled his
body
shoes,
is
but
ready.
from a personality standpoint, no.
Well, I'll have to see a little bit more from this Afghani, but to be honest, I almost don't even want to have like a face or a name to it at this point. Now it's like, we'll see. Maybe the guy's like really great in real life, and he's going to be then, like the next Al Newman or something.
We're gonna
but
find out.
Until then, I'm kind of like, you know what? Just let's not talk about it, and let's just enjoy Mario and Luigi.
Let's put it this way: I'm sure he'll have more personality than Chris Pratt. I don't think we have to worry about that. But
I mean, so does that nice cube.
that's my point. I'm going to do one more top story, and then we'll get to the biggest top story of the year, probably. Mom Brain, the Wii U. You remember that system?
I do.
Didn't sell too well.
It didn't.
Well, guess what?
What?
The Wii U's back, baby.
Oh, yeah.
You know why? We got the sales numbers for September 2023 in the United States, and the Wii U's flying off the shelves. And by the Wii U, I mean one Wii U.
Wow.
Our friend Matt Piscatella over at Circana gave a little bit of information. He said September 2023 in the United States, Nintendo officially sold one brand new Wii U. Roth, thank you for always sending that picture in the Discord. Never forget it. So there you go. One person out there was like, now is the time for me to buy a
For
Wii U.
$1.
I guarantee you it was a mother or a grandmother buying what she thought was the Switch, and there's going to be an unhappy child this Christmas.
I got Nintendo's new system. The Switch is old. This is the Wii U. People online are like, we need to find this person, and they need to be interviewed, and they're hoping with all the headlines about this happening that the person who has it might see this and be like, it was me, I got it. I don't know. It would be lovely to hear from them. That would be awesome. And yes, there's all kinds of questions, but one official brand new Wii U.
But where did you get it?
That's a great question.
How do you get a new Wii U? You can just find a new Wii U. And I'm saying like one that will be tracked on whatever this
Yeah.
is. Not something you
Not
bought on
somebody
eBay.
bought it
or-
and it was unopened.
Yeah, it's any retailer. Plenty of Walmarts are lost to time and still sell PS2 games. So a Wii U sitting in a Walmart would be definitely feasible.
That's
A Best
insane.
Buy or
Just sitting there.
probably not Target.
for
Walmart
for
definitely.
6 years plus.
Yeah, definitely.
It's crazy.
So yeah, there's a new Wii U owner out there. I hope they're having fun. Some people are trying to figure out why they bought it because they're like, oh, that news just came out about the Wii U eShop or the Wii U online play ending in 6 months. But we learned that news in October, and this Wii U was sold in September, so that's not the reason.
Could they had a Wii U, it crapped out, they wanted to get all their old VC games back or something?
Could be the case. Yeah, that maybe they were already playing their Wii U so much that they killed it. It died, and they wanted another one. Well, we may never know, but congrats to them for keeping a Wii U alive. Sticer says, congrats to the lucky kid who's getting that under the tree this year. That's it. Just do already figured it out. Yeah, some poor kid's gonna get it. And their grandparents gonna be so happy and so excited to see their little face when they open the package. And
Well,
Grandma, you
want
suck.
to be here.
the kid might be happy because they never made a GameCube purple version of the Wii U, so they're gonna get a sleek black one.
that's right. That's right. And
that's what matters.
they started right with the color right off the bat, and somehow the system didn't sell. They had white and black, and it didn't do it. Mario 64 is posting I'm always looking for a good Mega Man shirt. They're hard to come by. Finally, our last top story, as I said, the biggest news of the year in game industry stuff, unless somebody dies. This saga started, believe it or not, all the way back in January of 2022. We've been talking about this since January of last year.
Holy cow. It's almost 2 years.
Well, guess what? It's over. It's happened. It's done.
It's over,
It's
Johnny.
official.
It's over.
After spending a whopping $69 billion, Microsoft is now the proud owner of Activision Blizzard.
They
You
could've bought
name
X.
Activision Blizzard, they could have. It would have been a steal. You name an Activision Blizzard property, it is now under Microsoft's umbrella. They put out the official YouTube video announcing it, which I'm sure they've had made for over a year now. They're like, as soon as this deal goes through, put this video on the Xbox channel so everybody knows. So they did it. They did the damn deal. They done the damn thing.
If you can't make any good games yourself, buy them, baby. Buy them out.
So yeah, Call of Duty, Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, whatever else Activision does. I don't know.
Call of Duty, bro.
Yeah, Josh, this is big news for you. You excited?
I'm feeling so great.
Yeah, I
Thanks
thought
for
you would be.
asking.
But anyway, yes.
Am I the only one that feels weird about Crash Bandicoot? Like, it just
Tell me
feels
about
like
it.
I just know that. Look, I'm not even that big of a Crash Bandicoot fan. I think I played one of them.
Was it the second game?
I believe it was, but I just like, I don't know. I miss mascots. I miss like video game system mascots. And I thought he was going to be a mascot for the ages, and he turned into nothing. And now look at him. He's been all over in everybody's house. He's been in everyone's house.
Wait, what do you mean he turned into nothing?
Like now he's just like on anybody's system. You
Oh, I
want to
gotcha.
play him, you can play him. You know, and
I
I,
mean,
feel
for us-
like there's something about like having an exclusive character that's like go team Sony or whatever. Like
Yeah.
as stupid as that is, and how much I hate it when it's in real life, when it's like mascots doing it. Sony's
Sony's got mascots. They got Kratos.
Well, that Spyro was another one that was kind of mascotty, and like he's gone too now. It's like, well, why do we even have like we're just selling our mascots? It just feels weird. I know they weren't official, right? They weren't ever really like official mascots, or
I mean,
maybe
I don't think any company officially says this is our mascot. It's not like Nintendo says Mario's our mascot.
Yeah,
Just seen as that way. But yeah, when Sony would do commercials in the PS1 era and they had that guy in the Crash Bandicoot suit standing
Oh,
outside of
yeah.
Nintendo's headquarters, like yelling at Mario,
Yes.
that's kind of your mascot. Yeah. And yes, I agree. It's not weird, but I get that weird. Like, it's decades since it's been like that.
It's not
But I
weird.
get what you are saying. It's the same thing as like still when I see a Sonic game on a Nintendo system,
Sega.
I always
Yeah.
think Sega,
I'm like,
even though,
that's it's still something. There's still something there. But yes, Crash and Spyro, I've long since been multi-platform, so there it is. But yeah, like I said, Sony's got Kratos, and,
Gex, James Pond, they're all gone.
Well, Gex
I'm
was
just
well,
kidding.
Gex was on.
Gex was 64, right? Or...
No, Gex was 3DO, the 3DO
Oh,
mascot
wow.
for a little bit. Then he went everywhere. Dana Gould wouldn't be nailed down to just one platform. So, Microsoft clearly has Master Chief, and that's it for a
But
mascot.
they screwed Master Chief, in my opinion. I mean, it's a small opinion, and it's one man's.
Yeah,
but
but
like, it's not. I mean, Halo should be as big as Call of Duty. Like, it used to be huge, and they just like, what do they?
Well, you know,
After Bungie
you're
left, I
right.
guess
Like,
they-
Master Chief will always be the icon for Xbox, but he's not. He's fallen on hard times.
Yeah,
Like, people
it's-
don't like Halo like they used to after a few lackluster games. And you know, when it comes to Crash Bandicoot, you know who you can blame?
Not Naughty Dog.
Naughty Dog.
No,
They gave it up. Naughty Dog
They
sold it.
wanted all Uncharted and all Last of Us.
They're done. They're like, enough of this cutesy Crash and Jack and Daxter. We got to go. I don't know. We've got to. I'm not knocking what they do because it's all great.
I love
but-
what they do, but yeah, it's a shame that they.
Well, it sounds like they're in some big trouble lately with their multiplayer game that they've been working on. It sounds like they put it on the shelf. So that's like
I didn't
years and years and years
know
of.
about that.
Yeah, they've been doing the Last of Us multiplayer game for
Oh yeah,
a
that's
long time now. But latest rumor is they've shelved it indefinitely. I don't know, but they're putting it on ice for a while because they've been
Weird.
having trouble for a long time.
weird idea for a game, in my opinion. But
Oh, well, we never
Just
knew what it
wonder.
was about other than Last of Us.
in my opinion, but
Oh, well, we never
Just
knew what it
wonder.
was about other than Last of Us multiplayer. So I don't. Maybe it would have worked, but
it sounds like
it's not
a
working for them.
Walking Dead situation where it's like, oh, this is popular. Let's make a spin-off of it.
It sounds like what Naughty Dog does with all their franchises. They do a certain amount of numbered entries, and then they're like, and now a multiplayer game, a party game, or a kart racing game, and they can't do that kind of stuff with The Last of Us. So it's a online multiplayer game. I don't know, but we may never see. It sounds like they're hurting. So
How could a Last of Us kart racing game be? That could be kind of funny. I mean, it wouldn't go well. It would
I
probably
could not
ruin
imagine the
franchise,
outrage
but
that would
man,
happen.
that
with
would be
that,
good.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know, Naughty Dog. If you're struggling, maybe you should go back to your roots. Find yourself again. Maybe a new spin on Jack and Daxter. Maybe that would help. I know you're not going back to Crash, but
Well, it's tough to see all these, and you've loved all these characters and played them. You know, like I just love them as characters. I really haven't played a lot about Zelda and Mario and like how they've stayed relevant for 40 years and like the ideas that go into it and the people that work on it and all the everything that goes into it, and like their focus is on the game. It's not mostly. It's not necessarily on like how much money we can make if we poop out like a version of this. It's kind of like we want this to be fun and we want it to be great on its own, not necessarily because it's the 10th one of a franchise. But it's sad to see like, oh, like, and I love Naughty Dog and the games that I've played of theirs, but it's kind of like, oh, Uncharted and The Last of Us are huge. We're going to focus on that. We're going to kick the others out of the way.
Yeah.
And like a lot of other companies are doing that. Like they, you know, I mean, don't get me started on other things like Assassin's Creed. They ran it into the ground. They changed the formula. They ran that into the ground. And then they were like, let's go to the beginning again. And it's like, you already ran that into the ground.
Yeah.
Like, this is supposed to be a game made by multicultural people of all over it's like, then have them put their ideas in. Don't just put them in there and be like, oh, they're smart. They're smart techies. They can make the game that we want exactly as it has been. But yeah, now I'm just rambling with stuff that you already know.
it's multifaceted with Naughty Dog. Like, if Naughty Dog truly felt like they were done with Crash and Jack and Daxter, then I don't want them to just put out another one because they feel like they got to keep them going. But also, like, after all these years, you tell me you got nothing. There's no ideas or no anything there. And then I guess I would rather the franchise lay dormant than they fart out a sequel just because they feel like they have to. So I guess in reality, it's better where it is now. They did what they wanted to with Jak and Daxter. They felt like there wasn't more to do, and they didn't want to repeat themselves. So they stopped. But it seems so, and becoming known as the Uncharted Last of Us company, they couldn't be like, our next game is Jak and Daxter. Like, if they really had another idea they wanted to do, and they showed a Naughty Dog logo, and then they showed Jak and Daxter, dorks like me would be like, this is the greatest day of my life. But everybody who plays The Last of Us and
Dorcas
Uncharted
Malorcases?
would be like, what is this garbage? Why would you go back to this? Like, it's not going to be their next big thing. It'd have to be like, this one's for our true fans, or no, I don't want to say that. This one's for our old fans, or the fans that were there at the beginning. So I don't know. I don't like the situation. I would love a new game, but if they feel they don't have an idea to do, then I'd rather not get one.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I wouldn't want them to just
I don't know.
force it.
But anyway, yes.
But it makes you wonder, like, who are they hiring at Nintendo, these developers? Like, I mean, you got to imagine the people that work on these games, some of them do it just because it's a job. It's not because they're like, oh, I really want to make this game, right? Or are all of them really passionate about the game they're making? Because I feel like at Nintendo, you could feel that passion. And in other situations, you don't always feel that.
I think Nintendo does a very good job of hiring employees that feel that passion. Like, working at Nintendo is like a thing of prestige. Like, it's very clear when you go to get a job at Nintendo, you know what you're going to be working on, like a Donkey Kong, a Mario, a Pikmin, a Zelda. Like, you know what you're getting into. So I'd imagine when you're applying for that job, you're not like, I'll go work at Nintendo and then I'll move on to somewhere else. You're like, I want to work at Nintendo. Like, I want to help foster these franchises into the future. Whereas if you go to Activision, sure, I guess you want to work on Call of Duty, but maybe you don't want to work on Call of Duty yearly for the rest of your life. Like, that's the thing with Mario games. Mainline Mario, mainline Zelda, mainline whatever. Those are big deals because they don't come out often. So I think that passion's there, because those developers know what they're getting into, and they're like, Nintendo doesn't fart these out. These are going to be big deals. These are the next big things for these franchises. So it's different. As always, Nintendo's different. But yes, the mascot days are over. Activision has Crash and Spyro, which means Microsoft has them now as well. So, and World of Warcraft and all that stuff. So $69 billion spent, lots of legal battles taken care of, lots of concessions made. But it's obviously very important to Nintendo fans because now Microsoft's promise is official for the next 10 years at the very least. Nintendo's platforms, be it Switch or whatever it is, Switch's successor, will get the yearly Call of Duty installments with feature parity, day and date with other versions. So if you have been a Nintendo fan hoping to be treated with respect when it comes to Call of Duty, you are 100% going to get that for the next decade at the very least. So Switch's successor will get every single Call of Duty mainline game that comes out. That is Microsoft's pledge and promise. They wrote it out. They talked to Nintendo. It's done. It's official. It's happening. So
Call of Duty.
Josh is very excited. So that's a given. And then other Activision franchises, will they come to Nintendo? Probably. Spyro and Crash make perfect sense for Nintendo. I would be surprised if Microsoft was like, nope, those are Xbox only. So yeah, I'm sure that'll happen. And whatever else, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But it's
Does this mean that Crash could be in like the next Halo game?
It sure does.
Cool.
That would be the thing to turn the franchise around. I think you're right. But and then make a platformer where you play as Master Chief.
Oh man.
Yeah, this means Microsoft can do whatever they want with Activision's franchises. They could put Master Chief in
a Call of
Spyro and put Spyro in Call of Duty, and yeah, they can do can be all kinds of inbreeding going on, whatever they want. So yeah, it took a very long time. People were very burnt out, but it has happened. It's a done deal. It's official, people.
Done deal, pal.
Martin Stuff says it's finally done. Now they have to buy Nintendo directly from Japan, apparently. Yeah, I wrote about this on Patreon as well. There was the Financial Times article where some guy at the Financial Times was like, Japan should sell Nintendo. They're worth a lot of money. That'd be really good for Japan. And it's like, you are an idiot. I don't want to sound mean, but I think the person's completely misunderstanding what Nintendo means to Japan. Like, Nintendo is such a huge part of Japan's identity. It's their most culturally significant entertainment company altogether. Like, what other company is there in Japan, entertainment-wise, that you know that's bigger than Nintendo? There's not. Like, Studio Ghibli isn't bigger than Nintendo. They're well known, but American audiences really, by and large, don't give a crap about Studio Ghibli. That's why
Hello Kitty.
their movies are in limited release when they come out in theaters here. Hello Kitty, certainly merchandise-wise, is very popular, but like, American audiences don't. I don't want to say they don't care about Hello Kitty, but it's not on the same level of cultural relevance and significance as Nintendo. Like theme parks and movies, and but we're talking about like billions and billions of dollars. And again, Hello Kitty makes money. I don't want to, like, Hello Kitty's still one of the top 10 brands in the world. But when you I don't want to, I'm not trying to crap on Hello Kitty at all, but like when you come to like cultural significance and like relevance and reach and accomplishments, like
Whatever.
Accomplishments.
it's what Nintendo's doing. They like Nintendo's properties resonate with audiences on a worldwide scale that Hello Kitty doesn't. Hello Kitty is just a merch machine. Like, yeah, there's Hello Kitty cartoons and all that, but like Hello Kitty is big because there's Hello Kitty slippers.
I don't know. Have you ever been to a TJ Maxx? Because Hello Kitty's doing great at TJ Maxx.
That's true. That's true. So there you go.
Goodbye, Kitty.
That's all we got for your top stories. Mom Brain.
Mm-hmm.
I need a sip of water. Please talk about what you've been playing.
I have been playing Fae Farm and Animal Crossing.
Woo.
Both
Anything
are going.
notable to talk about there?
I did a little fishing today.
Oh yeah, it's the fishing event, the tournament.
Yep.
Happens
Brain
4
told
times a
me-
year, apparently.
Mom Brain told me you guys were going to have to skip the podcast because it was a fishing tournament. She told me this last week.
That's it. That's all I've been. Oh, Penny and Flo.
Okay.
And Do visited my island, and I will send a picture into the Discord of Piper watching as he visited the island.
Do
Nice.
what have you been playing?
I played some Animal Crossing. Went to Mom Brain's Island online, not local this time, which was cool. And ran around. I was a lot nicer to her plants and her trees this time around. And I was able to nick a couple of your tomato plants and potato plants. I don't know if you noticed that. So I've got some of that growing on the old. If you were listening last week to the saga, Rodney, that little weird hamster, had moved out, and I was worried that I was going to get some random who was even worse. That night, it was last Saturday, I saved up enough Nook miles for one last ticket, and I went to an island. And who was on the island but this mummified dog named Lucky? And I was like, this guy's awesome. So I invited Lucky to take Rodney's house, and he did. So now I've got Lucky there, and just last night I put the 10th house and final villager house up, and after tons and tons of island hopping, spending all my Nook miles that I had saved up all week, I eventually, with my very last ticket, I don't know how they do this or no, but with my very last ticket, I got this really interesting robotic robot named Cephalobot. And I was like, this guy's kind of cool. So
Mom Brain, are you familiar?
I don't know that I am. I don't know.
Yeah, he's like clearly a robot, but he's an octopus, and he's kind of funny. And
Oh yeah, I've seen artwork for that guy.
yeah, and what's great is the way my island is set up. There's like no more room. There was only one little like up on the highest hill where I'd like thrown all my like trees over the last 4 weeks, because I was like kind of didn't want to get rid of too many trees just because I felt bad. So I put all these trees that I cleared out of other places up on this big forested hill, and it was just surrounded with trees. You can't even walk there. There's so many trees. And I just like threw the last house in the middle of all these trees. So I have this weird robotic octopus that lives on a hill in the woods. And yeah, I don't know. It's pretty cool. I'm enjoying it.
Hi, Giant Reggie.
I've got I can't put any more inclines, and I could do one more bridge, but there's not really any room for a bridge unless I start like messing around with stuff. So I've been doing like pumpkins and making decorations and just enjoying life on the old island of Animal Crossing. And then other than that, I was playing a game called Cocoon. I don't know if you've heard of this.
Oh, my mom's been playing it too.
Cool. Yeah, RMC has been saying the praises of this game, and it's a very, very good game. I'm playing it on the Xbox Series S, and I like it a lot. It's really great. It's made by the same people who I believe who did Limbo and
Not the same studio, but the two developers from there went out and started their own company.
Now, was it their idea, or for the original games, or did they just work on the original games with the other team?
I don't know. I think the one guy was the sound designer on both of those games. And the other
cool.
guy I think was a lead developer on Limbo and Inside. So notable people.
Yeah, this game's great. I recommend it highly for anybody who would be interested in something like that. Puzzles are great. Nothing has been too difficult for me, and there's only one button really. I think there is literally only one button.
That's it.
So
hi, Tony de la Mancha.
It's very easy to get into. It's satisfying to solve the puzzles. There's a lot of kind of unique puzzles, and they do like a lot of interesting mind-bending things with the orbs that you jump into. I don't know exactly what to call that kind of stuff. But yeah, I would say it's an excellent game. This is a me thing. It's not really a style of game that's my favorite. So RMC, it's right up his alley, which is why he could beat it in 2 nights, and he probably could have beaten it in 1 night. Me, I've been playing it over 4 days. I just can't play more than like 30 minutes at a time. It's not sucking me in like that, but it's the style of game. Like those types of games never really did that for me.
Not enough Steve Gutenberg for you, or Wilford Brimley? It's a Cocoon movie joke for you.
Okay. Yeah, not enough actually. It's not a detriment but to the game.
Spoiler alert.
But yeah, and another thing that is a me thing, I don't feel any kind of connection to the game at all. It's kind of, the art style is very cool, looks and runs great, and it's very smooth and it's very interesting to look at. But
thanks,
it's not
very smooth.
It's not our world. Like I can't relate to it. It doesn't look like none of the environments look like anything you've seen. Like you could be inside a human body or something. It's like it kind of has that feel of like a weird organic alien world, which is cool as the design goes. But because there's no, and these are all positive things. Like there's no dialogue. There's no bubbles that pop up and say, "Oh, you got to do this," or "This is how you play," or "This is the story to set up there's nothing. And I really love that and appreciate that. But because of the environments, and because they don't explain anything, I find myself not really caring about what the story is going to be, because it doesn't seem like there really is a story. It's just like you play as like a little Mothman, and you're in like little cocoons. I don't even. That's not even it at all. Like I don't even. That's a terrible way to describe it. But
You are a little Mothman. That's true.
yeah. But I guess what I'm trying to say, RMC, is, and I'm sure you feel differently, is I feel no interest in the story. Like when I was playing Limbo or Inside, I was kind of like, this is familiar. I recognize a lot of this stuff, regardless of whether it is fantasy. And I kind of like, I want to know what's going to happen to this human little boy. Here it's like, I'm a little Mothman, and that's it. And like I'm fighting weird aliens that could be insects or whatever. Like all cool, looks great, plays great. It's the gameplay here that's the standout. And it's the reason to play. It's a lot of fun, but like, it's not like I'm like, let me beat this in one night because I have to know how this ends. You know what I mean? It doesn't have that kind of a story-driven feel that's pulling me through. And because these types of games aren't games that I like to devour, because my brain can only take a certain amount of puzzling at a time, I'm not like I said, devouring the game. I'm kind of taking it slow, but I'm very much enjoying it. I think if you've played any of the games that we've mentioned, or if you've been listening for the past 2 weeks, you should just have taken RMC's word for it back then. But it's a lot of fun. It's really good, and I'm pretty far. I think I'm almost done. I've
How long you been playing? You got a rough estimate?
No, not really. I did.
It's like 4 to 6 hours, the game.
I can tell you where I am, like
Sure.
like by boss wise, but I don't want to. I mean, I've just beat the 4th boss.
Okay. Yeah. You're pretty close.
So like, I think there's only one more, perhaps.
Yeah, you're close.
But yeah, it's really cool. And what I like about the puzzles is that you start out kind of with one orb that you get to jump into and like explore and all this stuff. And as you go, you get more orbs, and then a puzzle becomes, how are you going to take these orbs from one place to another? And and it's all done wonderfully, like without any instruction. The way that the game is made to have you kind of teach yourself, or like not even teach, it's just like you're just absorbing the game, and the way it's done is so organic. It's really, really wonderful how they do that.
Such like, there's really something to be said for the sophistication of the puzzles and what you do, married with the simplicity of the controls, the joystick and a button, and the lack of any on-screen text to tell you anything. It's built in a way that you learn by playing, and that's really hard to do, like really, really hard to do. So, and you never feel like, I don't like, how do I do this? What do I do here? I don't understand. That's never a thing. So yeah, I was incredibly impressed by that. That's not an easy thing to accomplish by any means.
Yeah, so it's great. Again, it's I've got my little gripes with them, but they wouldn't take points away necessarily from if this were a review score. It's more of this is a personal thing with me, because the stuff that I complain about, I'm sure RMC, I'm sure you wanted to know what happened at the end to your little bug man. I don't know how you could have had any type of connection other than this is the character I control, but that's fine. That's, like I said, a me thing. The only other me thing would be the music. It's very sparse. It's more like kind of atmospheric tones, and like, to be honest, I don't even know if there is any music. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of music. So
there's always something going on audio wise, but it's not like you're going to get a toe tapping tune or something.
Yeah. So that's another thing that, like,
you get little jingles when you solve a puzzle.
Yeah.
But they're always a different jingle, but it's something to signify like, you've done it.
Yeah.
You got it right.
Yeah. And it hasn't bothered me, to be honest. I wasn't even planning on talking about it. It's just something made me think of music. I don't know. You said something, and that's the only reason I even brought it up. So yeah, I mean, it's just something that's, for me, lacking, but it fits the game perfectly. Like, the audio fits the game perfectly, and it goes great with the experience they're trying to
same thing as Limbo Inside. Really not any music in those, but atmospheric.
Yeah.
Audio, without a doubt.
Audio beef.
Audio beef, yeah.
Yeah, and a couple of the boss fights have been really clever and really, really cool.
Especially for a game where you don't have a means of combat. Like,
yeah,
there's some really cool boss fights. Yeah.
yeah. I would say it doesn't tread a lot of like jaded ground in this, like because
You think when it comes to that kind of game, you're like, I've seen every kind of boss fight there is.
Yeah.
I know what the mechanics are going to be, but there's a few in that game where you're like, I've never seen this before. I
Yeah.
know exactly what you mean.
And I like how you don't. I mean, at least I haven't died, but like when the boss will catch you, you probably have never been thrown out of a level. So I'll tell you what happens.
You get thrown out of the orb.
Yeah, you get thrown out of the orb, and it's like really cool. He's kind of just like, get out of here,
Yeah.
and then you have to go back in
There's
and
no
restart
death in
the
the
fight.
game. There's no game over. That's the worst that can happen to you is you get
Yeah.
thrown back out of the world, but you're right back into it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, looks great, runs great, fun to play. I highly recommend it.
Cocoon.
Cocoon is the name of the game, and I believe it's $25 on the Switch. I've been playing
Included in Game Pass.
using Game Pass. So
Also available on PlayStation if that's your platform of choice, and Steam.
yeah, and that's thanks for listening. That's all I played this week. How about you, RMC?
Thank you for asking. I didn't want to butt in or take over with you, but you're right. You and I feel different about story in Cocoon, or as you might say, the lack thereof. I was greatly intrigued by the story in Cocoon, and afterwards, once you see how things wrap, I was like, ooh, this is something really to think about. That's very interesting to me. And I've been thinking about it ever since. And there was an article on Polygon that was talking about the ending, or not the ending, just the story and the end, and what the whole story that's being told is, and their interpretation of things, because it's very interesting to me. I really do like this. So you were spot on. We differ in those spots, but everything else with the game, you're exactly right. I didn't play anything this week because I was watching Spy Family as I wanted to make Mom Brain happy. So I played Fortnite, as I always do, of course.
So you did play something.
Yes. And I did a little bit of Sea of Stars because I want to clean up some stuff in that. But yes, there's other things I was intending on playing, but didn't. I'm not under obligation for a review deadline right now, so I didn't have to do that. So all I played was Fortnite, really. Loving Fortnite. Fortnitemares has begun. The broom is back, and I loved the broom, so it's very nice to have the broom back in
What's the
action.
broom do? I don't even remember the broom.
Launches you in the air and you ride it around.
Oh,
It's
like a witch's broom.
like a witch's
Duh.
broom, yes.
I'm like seriously trying to. I'm thinking of like a push broom. I was like, why are they?
No, a witch's broom, yes, that you fly around.
I've never played Fortnite.
The ramrod, the rocket is still there for traversal. Unfortunately, Ahsoka is gone, so no more lightsaber or force push or any of that.
Oh, bummer.
But yes, really loving it, having a great time. Always love Fortnite. Very excited for playing with friends and family. Friends haven't played at all this week. I couldn't earlier in the week because I was too busy. Then I was dying from the shot, and I was like, I don't have it in me, but I want to play.
I felt really bad about it because our one friend who's all jazzed up now playing it sent us kind of like a pretty long message one night and was like, I'm down to play tonight, tomorrow,
Yeah.
or the next the weekend. Like
he had said the weekend, and I had two things that night, or those nights, that I couldn't, and I felt bad as well. And then this week we didn't play, but I know we can't do Tuesdays. He can't do Wednesdays. So at least Monday and Thursday, and then usually our one friend is busy on Friday. So I was like, it's not a lot. I want to play. I love playing with friends. I definitely do.
Yeah.
But I think our friend who's in the band had something going on yesterday and today. I think I remembered him saying like there was a song release and they were doing something. So I know you wanted to play.
Well, it was Friday the 13th, so I got
Yeah.
an itch to play Texas Chainsaw Massacre with the gang.
Yeah, and it's
got a
not like
couple
him
of
to not
replies,
respond at all, but I think it's because they had something music related going on. But
Yeah.
yes, we haven't played with friends, and I want to, so we got to get back in on that. But I've been playing Fortnite with family, and it's fun. You've heard me talk about Fortnite plenty. And that's that. I want to say two things. Taylor, thank you for joining on Patreon. I got an email that you joined. I don't know if you're listening to the podcast live or it's just serendipitous that it happened, but thank you for joining. And second, I meant to say this way earlier. We are hardwired internet today because I'm trying to make the audio video as steady as possible. So hopefully it's been somewhat better. I don't know, but we're hardwired. And I said I had 2 things to say, and I actually have 3. Oh crap! What was the third? I just had it. Oh, that's so annoying. It was right there. It's about internet. It was about. I'm not gonna do this. You guys.
Iced Dilbert asks me, "Do are you looking forward to Dead Island 2 DLC coming out in a few weeks?"
I almost texted you about that.
I got an email just today. Actually, that's how I found out that it was coming out soon. I'm excited. I really liked that game, as you know. I would play some more. I mean, it really kind of screwed up my hands.
I was gonna say with your wrist brace.
Yeah, I really screwed up my wrists and my thumbs with that game. As sad as that is, in fact, I just ordered a left brace from Amazon this morning because I was like, Mario Wonder's coming out. Like I put in 100 and I'm already at like 180 hours in like Animal Crossing. So
by the time Wonder is over, you'll be in a full body cast.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just hope I'll have one of those rigs where I can play with my eyes,
blow in the tube and all that. Yeah,
but yeah, I'm excited. I'd be more excited if I had friends that I'd play it with, you know. And I don't know anything about the DLC. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it'll be worth it. But you know, at the same time, I don't know. I really don't know. I went and bought, when I purchased the game, I bought the special edition. So I'm gonna get the DLCs no matter what. It's already included. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Thanks for asking, Iced Dilbert. I love to talk, as you can tell, and I love to talk about Dead Island.
You okay?
I'm so tired.
She's tired.
We got questions. Send your questions to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
goninpod@gmail.com. They can be about Nintendo, video games in general, or whatever the hell you want. Elizabeth asks, have you ever thought about making and selling merch for GoNintendo? Yes, and yes, multiple times. Just never ended up doing it. Have there been ideas? Sure. Were there ideas recently? Sure. Have I ever done it? No. There's that site that Name of Austin uses. I don't remember what it is, but they only make the merch if you hit a threshold, and then it's covered by the revenue you make. That's what I should do. But as far as designs, there's been ideas floated for a long time. I just never pulled the trigger on anything, but probably should have done it a long time ago.
You would do? Because I thought you were kind of against all that.
I don't like having to have people pay for it. I feel bad. But it will be fun to have merch, so it's an internal struggle. I don't know. I'm not against it. Let's just say I'm not against it.
I don't understand why. Because they're paying for something. It's not like they're paying for.
I know,
nothing.
but I wish I could just give it to them. I don't. What I should do is do the merch, and then the revenue should go to charity, some kind of charity. That would be the way I would like to do it. But yeah, I'd have to come up with designs, and I'm not the one to do the designs, so that'd be working with somebody else. But
why don't you donate your paycheck to charity then?
Well, I gotta make a living. This is superfluous stuff.
Okay. All right.
I don't need my living. If my living was shirts, then I wouldn't get rid of the shirt money. But my living isn't shirts; it's running a website. So, I just the people would only want the shirts because of the site, and they're already giving me money through the site by visiting the ads and everything there. So I would like to be
the
like,
site
thank
that
you.
Work really hard for 20 plus years on it.
Oh, yeah.
One of the first
that's what
podcasters in history.
Well, that's not true, but thanks.
Think about that. Like, who's still podcasting from back then? It's probably you and who?
There's probably hundreds of thousands of people. We just don't know their podcasts. They're still out there talking about, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something really obscure. Like some minor character in The Simpsons. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a really, really minor character. But yeah, there's plenty of people out there who've been doing podcasts to audiences of 0 for decades, and good for them as long as it's making them happy. We also have a Patreon question, Mom Brain. Once again, did you know that you can join the GoNintendo Patreon
$1.
For $1? Anastasia Beaverhausen did, and they asked this question. When I was younger, I drew my own set of tradable cards, including me and random Mario characters. My Nana, who worked at my school, photocopied them many times for me. What's your biggest nerd moment that you've involved family in? It's a great question. Biggest nerd moment that I've involved family in. I guess running the site in
The
general.
podcast party?
A podcast party is where my mind went right away. That's the biggest thing. But I didn't involve them. They willingly came. Biggest nerd thing. Trying to think if there's like a tournament that I made them go to or some kind of like show. I can't think of a big nerd moment that I like dragged their asses into. Mom Brain, you guys got anything?
This isn't really that bad, but when I was like a young teen, I got into chess and bought a chess set and everything, and I would make my brother and my mom and my dad like play me in chess, and they hated it. I mean, they were all nice enough to like try. Like I taught them all chess because I was so excited for some reason. I learned it and I was like, "This is so great!" And I taught them the game, and I would like make them play with me, and they were all really actually. Looking back, it was like a really nice thing for all of them to do and not really complain about, knowing that they weren't really into it. You know, but yeah, that was about it. I mean, it was like just in our dining room. It's not like I was making them go to a chess tournament, and I was not really good anyway, and haven't played chess in years at this point. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of nerdy, right?
Yeah, it's kind of nerdy, yeah, but still, like, even though you said they didn't like it, like, you seem like that. It seems like something that you'd want to foster that in your kid. Like, if kids saying they want to learn chess or play chess, you're like, oh, this little.
But to the point that they let me teach them how to play, like that was, pretty cool. Like,
Yeah. Come on, my brain. You don't got any like weird like. You were one of those kids that watched the live action Disney shows. You got to have a nerdy thing you did with your mom or something.
I can't think of anything.
Well, we're sorry on this side of the table. We're both coming up blank, but I really can't think of anything that was nerdy and I dragged my parents into. It was the other way around, where I went to Colonial Williamsburg and sheep shearing and goat milking and all that. Like, I would call that, and I'm not saying it in a negative way, but I would call that all like history nerd stuff, and that's very much not me. And I went to all of it, so they did it to me, and I'll never forget it, and they'll never live it down. But that's that. Mom Brain, are you ready for music?
Mm-hmm.
Now let's do music. Send your music to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
goninpod@gmail.com. Please put music in the title to help out Mom.
Help.
Here we go.
I got music. You want to hear it? You want to hear it? Oh.
That is what he sounds like. Our first song today comes to us from Zartan86.
Thank you, Zartan.
86. Does that mean we're out of Zartans, or does that mean that Zartan was born in 86?
The 86th iteration of Zartan. Can you go higher? Is this Super Nintendo?
No.
GBA?
Yes.
First party?
No,
Didn't sound like it.
Rolling Thunder.
no,
Is it from Namco?
no.
I don't like it. I don't know at all. I'm giving up. I don't know.
Do?
I don't know.
It is Castlevania Aria of Sorrow.
Wow,
on
that
the
doesn't
Game
sound like
Boy
a Castlevania
Advance
song at all.
from Zartan 86.
Got me good.
Man.
Got me good.
Oh, okay. Whew. I don't know if I played that one. Dawn of Sorrow is the one that I played.
Man, I don't remember that as a Castlevania song at all. One of the Castlevanias on GBA had a really bad soundtrack. Maybe that was the one.
Well, this one comes from the Colonel.
Oh my God, royalty. Oh, that's Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
It sure is.
Run aboard. Talk about a stressful game.
Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Oof, that's a tough one.
So that was Super Ghouls and Ghosts from the Colonel with his wee beady eyes. Not you, Colonel. It's from a movie. This one comes from Fart Blossom.
Can we go higher?
Do I?
What is this, DS?
It is.
Yeah, it's right. It's on that edge. All right. So it's something like something with edge, like something. It's like something about sports with no rules, or like something from the streets or something, like happening in an alleyway. Oh yeah, come on. This is something that wants to be like real hardcore and badass, but isn't. Am I onto anything here?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Franchise?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, so it sounds like bad music. So that's got to be Jesus Christ. This is a third party that farted out a game.
It's actually EA.
All right, so I'm on. Oh, it's
They're known for
some
farting.
horrible Need for Speed.
It sure is.
Nice.
Need for Speed 2.
Graffiti. Underground.
Underground.
Hey, there we go.
I mean, the name should have.
Family.
Oh
Family.
man, it just
Family.
screams that bad. Like I don't know how to describe it, but I got there.
Well, you described it pretty well while you were coming up with the name.
This one comes to us from Occultist's Closet. Yes.
Well, I love it.
Having trouble placing the system. It could be Super Nintendo or GBA.
It's neither.
DS.
Nope.
What system?
Nintendo 64.
Ah, the one that always gets me. Glover.
No.
Man.
Wow, this is nice.
I don't necessarily think that
Got a robot in
this
it.
music matches what I'm looking at as cover art.
It is Wrecking Balls.
No. I mean, maybe a little, but
Is it like a party game or something? Or
it's not.
Micro Machines.
No.
San Francisco Rush. Cruising.
No.
Space Station Silicon Valley.
Nope.
I don't know. Army game.
I don't know.
We got no guess.
Vigilante 8.
Wow.
So it's like a school bus decked out with
It's
like
a
rocket launchers
Twisted
and
Metal
Twisted Metal
stuff
remake.
ripoff.
with like a little diddy bop in the background.
Man, that was a really good song for something like that.
So Great job there, Occultist Closets. Stumping everybody.
Man, Vigilante 8.
This one comes from
big.
Geku Kitsune.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Oil Ocean Zone.
It is a Sonic.
Sonic Mania.
Yep. Great job, guys. That was Sonic Mania from Geku Kitsune. And here is one from Martin Stuff.
Mario Kart.
No.
I don't know. Should I know?
Uh-huh.
What system?
Switch.
Pikmin?
Yeah, Pikmin 4.
Why do I not know this?
And the title of the track is Groovy Long Legs.
I really
It
don't
was a
remember
boss
it
fight,
at all.
maybe.
Yeah.
Nice job, dude.
Legs.
You beat that game, right?
Me? Yeah.
We never talked. Did we ever talk about
We
the...
can't. She hasn't.
Yeah, we never talked about that. You know what I'm talking about, though.
Why do I not remember that song?
This one comes from Mikey3319.
Tell you the truth, I'm trying to think of songs from Pikmin right now, and I can't. Oh, shoot. Oh, that noise. Is this a Milton Bradley game?
I don't think so. How many do we have all together?
This is our 6th, I believe. I know it's going to be that damn Milton Bradley composer. This is a board game?
No.
This would be a complete blind guess, so I really don't even know which direction to go. Whoever the composer is on Time Lord did this. I stake my life on it. Oh, yeah. Come on. It's the same, man. I gotta look this up. I don't know. Is it a horror game?
No.
Okay, then I'm out.
Signalis.
No.
D. Full Quiet.
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
Beetlejuice on the Nintendo
Is
Entertainment.
it a horror game?
I mean, is Beetlejuice really horror?
I mean, you would at least comment on it in some way and be like, well, it's a horror element.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, guys. Would you have gotten it?
I can't say. I would have guessed Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. I might have gotten the Beetlejuice.
Here comes one from Tony de la Mancha.
This is familiar.
Pretty sure you played it.
Do you know if I've played this?
That I don't know.
Holy crap, I just learned something amazing.
2 plus 2 is 4.
What is this? Switch, I'm sure?
It is.
This is very
It
familiar.
feels like something Rummy would play and then tell Deux to play.
No.
I think.
Grease.
No.
Yeah, it's extremely
Kind
familiar.
of dig it.
I don't know, dude. God, I know I'm going to be mad when I hear it. Signalis, since you guessed that already?
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
We don't know? We don't know. I looked. Yeah, son of a bitch.
It's Tunic.
Oh,
That's really frustrating.
that's heartbreaking for you. Not so much for me. But I did play it, so I
Christ,
should
what
have.
a bummer.
But I knew I recognized it. What a lovely soundtrack.
I've even listened to that soundtrack. Oh, that pisses me off. By the way,
Give it to us. Go ahead.
the composer on Beetlejuice was the same composer on Time Lord, like I said.
Wow.
But what I didn't know was it's David Wise.
No way.
I can't believe that. Yeah, David Wise was
Man,
the composer.
what an ear you have, and at the same time, that is
It's
different
such a
than his
well-
other-
yeah.
like
That's
so
I'm
cool.
shocked. I'm shocked.
We have 2 left.
I thought we had 3, but maybe 2.
Oh, well, okay.
Let's say 2. We got 2.
Okay.
This is one of the 2.
I'm just waiting for this ad to finish.
This is one of the 2.
Okay, I'm just waiting for the ad to finish. Okay, this one comes with like a little note. It's from Tater Tot, who says, "Hello, GoNintendo crew. I've been a longtime follower of the site, but ended up taking almost a 10-year break from the podcast.
Tell me about it.
Recently, I had been looking for a podcast I could listen to with my 12-year-old son, and this one seemed the perfect fit since we both love Nintendo and Nintendo music. This show has given me one more way to bond with my son, and for that, I'm so grateful to you. Peace and love, Tater Tot."
Tater Tot's in the chat. I believe Tater is the one that just joined on Patreon. Now we got a song from him too. Also, well, thank you. Also, hopefully you don't regret listening with your son, because I don't know if we're
Butts, boobs, boobs. Tater Tot Jr., do not repeat what you hear on this podcast at school.
We're not exactly kid.
Do not repeat what you hear on this podcast at school.
We're not exactly kid friendly all the time, but I appreciate it and thank you. And we're glad to have you back after 10 years.
I haven't been cheating. I swear. I know that sounds strange to start a sentence like that, but I popped into the Discord just now, and Tater Tot wrote Pikmin 4 according to my son. So earlier when the Pikmin 4 song was on, his son called it. So
your son deserves to run the podcast, because I didn't know.
We've got a new Tater Tot in town.
Tater
Tot, your son.
Tater Tot's son henceforth shall be known as Spud.
Oh, there you go.
And it shall be done. This one's for you,
man, pressure's
Spud.
on. Now we got to get this song.
I turned off the Discord.
Thank God it's a song I know. Man, I was so excited for this game when it came out, and it was worth it. It's Blast Core.
Yeah,
on the N64.
It sure is.
An underappreciated rare gem. Just you play as trucks or cars or bulldozers, and you knock buildings down. It's a lot of fun.
Tater Tot and Spud, hope we did you proud.
I got it. I pulled through.
All right. And the last song for today comes from Wired.
This is also familiar. Gun.
No.
Red Dead Redemption.
It sure is.
There you go.
Rat hats forever.
6 out of 9. There you go. We got 6 out. We actually got 6. And it potentially we didn't do enough songs, so it could be 9, but we got 6 correct. I'll take it. Not bad. We started off a little rough.
Spud loves the name, and the Discord appears to have accepted Spud as one of our own.
Spud. Well, unless you got something for us, dude, that's the end of the show.
Well, it just wouldn't be another day around the old week without a Deux Views. It's never news. Rumor of the Week, starring Deux Michaels. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we like to... I like to share the rumors that I've heard throughout the week from my spiders, my flies.
Sorry to pull back the veil a little bit here, but I love, and I mean this, I love when you vamp and you have no idea where you're going. It's one of my favorite things.
What makes you think I don't have any idea?
How dare you? How dare you?
Is it the awkward pauses and the straining
No.
to think of a simple
know-
word?
You know what?
It's
Don't
not
listen
the
to
awkward pauses at all. It is the lack of being able to get to the word that you want. And I just love wherever we
He's
go.
just jealous that he doesn't have little
Jealous?
spiders.
That's right.
You know?
Jealous.
I love it. I love it.
Tony De
So
La Mancha says, "How dare you question you?"
No
yeah.
question.
So normally I share a rumor at the end of the show. I'm going to have to do something a little different this time because this information that I have is actually true.
Holy crap. What an honor.
Yeah. This is a really good one too. A really good, true rumor.
This is a really good truth.
So we all heard the news that a gentleman named Kevin Afghani is going to be the new voice of Mario and Luigi. What we didn't realize was that information was actually mistaken. That is not true. So Kevin Afghani is not the voice. It's the actual voice actor is Kevin Hart. So Kevin Hart is gonna be Mario and Luigi. Sorry for the mix-up, everybody, says Nintendo, and we're just gonna ask friends and family of Kevin Afghani to reach out to him and make sure that he's okay.
I got nothing against Kevin Hart, but I don't know that he'd be a good fit for
You wouldn't.
the voices of Mario and Luigi. But I guess we've heard him in the demo, so he does a good job.
Yeah, and I mean, all you needed was to change the last name, and you got the actual news story.
That's it. You know, I was so close. I could have broke that story so long ago, but I'm just glad we have it here. I'm honored that we have it here, actually. Thank you for that definitely true story, dude.
Anytime.
You gotta look in the Discord and see what Dre Gamer posted. It's just perfect.
Well, I may go. Yes. Apparently, Mr. Hart is surprised that this news also came out. Hi, Backseat Studios. All right, everybody. That's what we got. That's tater tot nut. Oh, never mind.
I have to put the great picture I found that I forgot I took of you on the beach with Piper.
That's not a real picture, but you do that. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
I said I would read my list of things to watch on the after show. I also have things to play, but we don't need to do that. Here's things I want to watch. Ergo Proxy, which is an anime. Dominion, which is an anime. Gunbuster, which is an anime. Gen V,
Wait, why you want to watch that and not The Boys? You haven't seen The Boys yet, right?
No, I watched one episode of The Boys and I was like, but Gen V in the trailer looks more interesting to me, so that's why I want to watch it. One Piece, just in general. The Bear, but that's done, which is why I put done in parentheses.
Did you see that? I'm sure you know that the bear guy is going to be in a wrestling movie.
Yes. Oh my god, I meant to show you the trailer, Daniel. I forgot. Why can't I remember the name of the wrestler? Yeah, he's one of the Von Erichs.
It looks really heartwarming. There's all
It's
these
an A24
brothers and
movie.
they're
It's an
hugging and
A24
like
movie.
they're wrestling and hugging. I think it's gonna have a happy ending and hugging. I think it's gonna have a happy ending. I don't know much about the story.
Yeah,
either.
I've been so excited because the story is really good, and I knew A24 was doing it. I didn't know that guy was in it, but I was like, I know this guy now.
Yeah, he's
so good as.
I was wondering why he was so dang jacked, because he's like huge now.
Yeah.
It's because he's in this movie, I guess.
I know. Scavenger's Reign, which is that awesome looking animated show coming to Max. The Curse, which is another animated show. Code Geass, Frieren, lots of anime. Violet Evergarden, I got to get back to.
You have a lot of shows on your plate, man.
Reservation Dogs, because I hear great things about it, and I know Nicky Hill really enjoyed it. Fright Crew, which is another animated one. No One Will Save You, which was the one that our friend said they
I was
liked.
disappointed with that one, but worth a watch. I wouldn't say it's not watchable.
The Fall of the House of Usher, which just came out, and finally Totally
excellent.
Killer, a movie on Amazon that I want to watch. So there you go. That's what I want to watch.
Book.
Totally Killer.
Fall of the House of Usher.
This is based on Edgar Allan Poe. That's all I know.
Yeah, apparently, that is a book. I don't think this really follows that exactly. And what I've heard is, and I don't know much about Edgar Allan Poe, but I've heard that he's taken bits of like a lot of his works and put it into this show. I'm on the 5th episode. I think so far that it's excellent. I'm enjoying it, but I do enjoy Mike Flanagan's stuff most of the time. So highly recommend that one. And I also, oh my God, I highly, highly recommend Our Flag Means Death on Max, HBO. It's excellent. The 2nd season just came out, and I was a little nervous going into it because I love the 1st season so much. 2nd season might even be better. I mean, it's so good. I'm just in love with it. It's a little silly, but if you can look past the silliness, there's a lot of heart there, and I think it's a really great show to watch for for everybody, really.
Mom Brain, you want to talk about who you just discovered this week?
Joe Pera?
Mom Brain had no idea who Joe Pera was.
He's real
and now
nice.
she's in love.
Yeah, he's real nice. I like him a lot. And actually, your dad thought he didn't like Joe Pera, and we showed him a
But he was
couple little
wrong.
clips, and he enjoyed Joe Pera.
Oh, yes, he did.
Yeah, it's so funny that you brought him up this week because I had never heard of him, but I had just happened to listen to Tim Heidecker's podcast this week, and he had Joe Pera on. And again, I said, never heard of him, but then you brought it up, and I was like, I just listened to a podcast with him. But it was really funny because you waited like 45 minutes through the podcast before you even introduced him, and then he introduced him over Zoom. And as soon as he introduced him, he made like a huge deal. He's like, "We got Joe Pera," and there's like all this applause and stuff. And then like Joe Pera's like, "Hey Jim, thanks very much. A friend of mine just came in town, and I told him I'd get a burger with him, so I gotta go." And it was like, I didn't know if it was real or not. Like it turned out it was a bit, obviously, but like, and then for like 30 minutes, he just kept saying like, let me just tell my friend that I'll be another minute. And he would like leave the room and come back. It was like so bizarre, but it was pretty funny.
Right up Tim's alley, definitely.
Tim was loving it.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, that's all we got for the after show today. I mean, we're taking it easy. Oh, well, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hopefully, if you were streaming it live, and hopefully the archived version of the YouTube show went more smoothly with less hiccups because we're hardwired in. So let me know if that's the case.
Now, everybody, we need to remind Spud to go do his homework
No.
and
Homework's for dorks.
and his chores.
Play video games.
We have to be a good influence.
Eat cake and candy.
Don't tell him RMC's schooling history.
And, I never caused any trouble.
I never
and I did
had-
everything I was told.
I never had detention every day for 4
That's right.
years.
That's right. Never ever.
I never smashed fluorescent light bulbs in the dumpster with a tea.
I became
Oh,
as
yeah,
successful as I am
They rewarded
today.
me with the
Nice.
website afterwards.
Mhm.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Play some games. Rest, relax, hang out with family and friends. You deserve it. And whoop. And we'll see you next week. Goodbye,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Goodbye. And